Ba-na-na-na. Hey, hey, hey.
All right, well, hello and welcome to tonight's episode of Loot, Die, Repeat, where a bunch of us nerf herders.
I was going to say
Oh, that's a new one.
That was the recommendation from last week. A bunch of us nerf herders sit around and laugh at each other. We roll some dice and we do some collaborative storytelling and role-playing known as Dungeons & Dragons. So we appreciate you being here with us tonight. We are, again, without our producer. We missed you, Dakota, which is why we're starting late. We had to kind of scramble to get everything all in order. And I am hoping that it's working. I hope the sound's on. I have no idea. I think we're streaming. And
sure.
Otherwise, all they're seeing is your mouth.
Yeah, we are.
I don't see it.
We're good.
And so, Scooby-Doo says we're good, so I appreciate that, Scooby-Doo. Thank you. Scooby-Doo, listen, my friend, I need you to do the chat tonight. Scooby-Doo says we're good, so I appreciate that. And there's our sound. So we're good. There's our sound. All right. So we are going to jump right in. I have to apologize because my week has been crazy. And I did not get to game plan the way I normally do. And so I have my skeleton outline, and I'm just going to make it all up from there. So we're really going to be improvising tonight. Yay! And so if I use any voices for characters that are supposed to be different, that's, you know.
Basically, let them know in the comments that you expect better.
Yeah. So we're muting our phones, and we are good. Any other announcements before we jump in?
I love you.
I love you, and you
They're
love
cousins,
me.
it doesn't count.
We can tell West Virginia.
I was going to say, that just might have made it sound a little worse.
West Virginia.
We love you, West Virginia. Don't take any offense to that.
Only if you're paying for a subscription, though.
If you did miss any of our past episodes, then you can go on our YouTube channel, which has all 15 of them up there. And we are uploading the new episode on Fridays. You can look for that on Friday. That will be uploaded now in 720p. Yay! And so we're hoping to continue to increase the viewing. I'm trying to get this all set up. The viewing pleasure of our audience. All right. Well, without further ado, as I bring up my music, I'm just going to pick a song at random. Let's do this one.
Everybody's working for the weekend?
It's Friday! Friday!
Is it on?
He's at the weekend! That's the first song that comes in my head when people say
tonight?
This is what happens when we're disorganized and don't have any idea what we're doing.
I didn't know that was an artist. Personally,
I can't feel my face.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into tonight's episode of Loot, Die, Repeat. Okay.
We get to hear it twice.
A little slow on that bar. A little slow on that. All right. So last time we had some drama. We had some craziness.
The horse
No idea what
died.
you're talking about.
As Moniker made their way back from Nightstone to Waterdeep after having killed
Morthos.
the Paraton,
The horse.
given the task of taking the wheat that they are escorting back to Waterdeep, and also to meet up with Matimer Creel in the town of Amphale. On their way back to Greenest and then ultimately to Waterdeep, upon waking, the party was ambushed by a group of nefarious individuals.
That's a good word.
With the garb matching the Zentarum. And they demanded to know the location of Lennis Flax. The party refused to give it to them. And quite the kerfuffle ensued.
Good word.
And
Got one more to work into.
And as that battle commenced, a mysterious, shadowy figure emerged from the forest demanding the tear of Vivon Rano from Melcene, referring to her necklace.
That's what that's called.
Refusing to give up her prized possession, Melcene and the rest of Moniker fought this Kendim, as he referred to himself, as well as the Zentarim ruffians. And at the end of the day, the Zentarim were defeated, and their leader, a bard, was driven off, and the Kendim was also driven off, but at the cost of the life of Morthos, our tiefling. Figuring that they were about 3 days out from Waterdeep, and knowing that there is powerful magic that can bring a recently deceased back to life, so long as they are mostly in one piece, the party is only mostly dead. The party marshaled their collective resources and got together 1,000 gold and sent Sola off to Waterdeep carrying the corpse of Morthos as fast as she could. Piloting the horse through the roads and ultimately arriving in time to the Temple of Light, where Lightkeeper Thranduin met them, received the payment, and through a very strenuous ordeal of prayer and calling out to Morthos and seeking to call his soul back to his body, Morthos was revived.
There was also an engagement. It was a friendship promise ring.
And so now Morla,
Not a thing.
Morla awaits the rest of her party in Waterdeep
Hashtag Morla.
as the rest of Moniker is in Greenest, having been stopped by the Castellan and asked if they knew of any dwarves from downriver. Being told that a bald-headed, red-bearded dwarf was fished out of the river, who matched the description of one Thorig, who was revealed by Jax to be essentially her mentor, her father figure. And so going to the Temple of Shantea to identify the body, Moniker is in the temple with Rygar and Vincent standing guard over the caravan, with Melcene, Hold, Eli, and Jax opening the door and finding that the burial shroud is empty and there is no body in the room where he formerly lay. And so it's at that moment that we will pick up tonight's adventure of Loot, Die, Repeat.
By the black ass of Mask! What happened to the body?
Do you have another room or something?
No, he was right here.
He just
Could someone have moved him?
No, by the hairy beard of Moradin, I don't know what's going on. Quick, call the guard.
guard.
Your building.
He motions to one of the acolytes there to rush out, and Vincent and Rygar, you see this little acolyte of Shantea dressed in browns and greens rush out and go to one of the town guard and call them inside.
Are you sure he was dead? Dead?
Not
He had a
mostly
gash in his neck and his body that would have slew any man.
Has anybody been in here since? The dead don't typically rise. We know. We just paid $1,000 gold for it.
Well, I can't speak to that, but he was
Maybe.
he was dead.
He's dead. And he just disappeared.
Not here.
And there's no like blood spatter on the room or.
Roll investigation.
Oh, I don't want you.
You guys both roll exactly the same.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Like, let me
nope.
bounce it out.
3.
You are so fixated on the fact that Thorig was seemingly here and now is gone that the details of the room kind of fade as you just focus on that burial shroud.
Has there been anyone else asking about him?
He turns to the priest that's
Yeah.
there and says, no one else has come in here. I prepared the body for burial, and we wrapped him in the shroud, and we're just hoping to identify him before we buried him later today.
Who
But
would?
I've seen no one come in or out.
Who would take him? He had no enemies except for the Blackstones.
Yavo didn't seem to like him either.
Didn't we kill him? We
Nope.
definitely killed him.
Yavo, the unjust or just, depending who you talk to.
I thought he was cruel.
He was cruel.
Oh.
I'm just hearkening back to episode 5. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people that... What happened to your drums?
He must have taken them.
How could he have taken them?
How could he have risen from the dead? He has to be somewhere.
I want to go over and inspect...
The
trap.
linens aren't here. Somebody would have had to unwrap him
Roll investigation.
and carry his naked body out of here.
10.
He must
10.
be alive.
So the burial shroud is clearly unwrapped. There are blood stains in it, and as well as the remnants of kind of a light embalming. You also notice quite evidently that the window in the back of the room is wide open.
Interesting. This is going to be weird. I'm going to... How fresh does that blood look?
Oh.
I don't know. Last time I tried
It's
someone's blood,
it's
weird
valid
stuff
choice.
happened.
Yeah,
You can just lick it?
mostly
Yes.
it's mostly dried in the burial shroud, but mixed with the embalming fluid, there's a little bit of wetness.
Please do it.
Do it.
I'm not going to
Do
do
it.
that. Does it look like the shroud was open from the inside out or the outside in?
No way to know that.
It's like
Other
an
claw
heat.
mod.
I don't know.
If I were Thorig, where would I go? I mean, he took his drum, but I don't know how.
I
It's
go-
got smaller fingers than a
I go and look out the
Doesn't make
window.
sense.
beer
Do I see
stein.
anything?
You look out the window, and there is a pile of hay kind of off to the side where several horses and cattle and sheep and things like that are fed from, and their stable tended to that clearly belong to the temple. There's also a about 6 foot high wall that surrounds the entire temple, but for the front where there's an opening, a gate. And
Is the gate open or closed?
the gate is at the front, you can't see.
Okay.
You came through the gate to enter, it was
oh,
open.
I see. Okay.
It's really just, there's a walkway that goes around the entire building. The grounds are very beautifully manicured, and there are patches of flowers in bloom, some trees that grow, 1 or 2 that are along the wall, and otherwise nothing really of note catches your eye.
Doesn't look like there's footprints or anything that I could.
Can roll perception.
$19.
You see some markings in the pathway that goes around, and as you look, you think you might see some footprints that go towards the wall, but it's hard to make out in the midst of all of the other traffic that's clearly been through there.
Alright. I want to climb out the window.
Yep, you can do so with
Well,
ease.
it's right here.
Yep, it's about 3.5 feet off the ground, and you open it up. It's a nice window. stained glass, and it rises delicately, and you step through, out. You have to step over a flower patch that kind of rings the temple, and you do so, and you're outside.
Alright. I walk over to the wall, see if I can see anything else.
Yep, you can peer over the top, and as you do, you see that kind of below are woods that lead down to the river that flows past the sawmill. And there's some other clusters of houses around, but this is a wooded area near the temple.
I go back in. There may be footprints out here, but I'm not very sure. I can't tell, but there's a possibility he may, or someone may have left through the window.
Do I know anything?
Where would he go? What's outside the window?
Do I know anything about Shantae?
Roll a religion check.
9.
You know that Shantea is the goddess of the harvest, and one of a good deity, a ally of Pelor, and an ally of Tyr. You know that she is revered in communities that are very agriculturally based. And beyond that, you never really concern yourself too much with her, focusing your devotion on Helm, the god of protection.
Silly goose.
Holt says, can't you just ask the plants outside where he went?
Talking to whom?
The guy.
Oh.
The guy from
The acolyte.
Shantae, the acolyte.
Escobar the Red?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Won't Shantae speak to you through the plants?
I'm not a priest of Shantea. You can talk to the priest.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Where are they?
I can try to meditate and see if Shantea gives me any guidance and direction, but she does not always speak. She
Boy, do I know.
gives us her blessing through the rain and through favorable weather and a bountiful crop.
Is there anything that I could do to help?
I don't know. What could you do?
I have given my allegiance to Shantae, and I seem to have some sort of connection that is not completely explained to the nature around me.
Well, then, by all means, please seek the good goddess.
So I
No,
Got
no.
it.
Good in character.
Hey!
is there like an altar or
There is an altar set up
Okay.
in the middle that has some freshly cut greens there.
Okay.
There is engravings
Makings
of
of a
wheat,
salad.
which seem to be her symbol, a cornucopia with different fruits and things like this, all harvest imagery that
Alright.
adorns this little
Alright.
altar.
I walk over and is there water around?
Yep, there's some water set up for kind of ceremonial cleaning.
All right. I take some water and I just kind of go over to the altar and I just do my kind of like shape water and just make it flow around the things that are there. And I say, Shantae, we come to you and we are looking for this Thorig that has been here. Can you give us any direction, any guidance into what we might do next?
Roll a religion check with advantage.
Oof.
12.
12. You close your eyes and you shape the water, and in your mind's eye, you see the image of a field. And the field doesn't stand out to you as unique. And next to the field is a road, a long road that disappears into the horizon. And as the breeze blows through the grains of the field, you look and the sun is blazing and it's hard to see through the light of the sun, but you see kind of silhouetted against the sun the form of a figure walking down the road that is of small stature. And the vision fades.
Shantae spoke to me, or I saw a vision. It wasn't very clear, but there was a field of grain, and it seemed like someone of small stature was walking down the road.
Did he have red hair?
Near this, I don't know.
Was it into a bright light?
It may have been into a right light.
It was, in fact, directly into a bright light.
That's not very promising.
Well, it might mean he actually is alive.
I can't give up hope.
Hope's all we got. But he's not here now, so what do we do?
I think we have to first clear his name. Otherwise, he'll never come out. When we get back to Waterdeep, the first thing I'm doing is marching right up to the black stones.
Wood.
Black
Woods. Get the element wrong every single time. Black Woods. I have to figure out what happened.
You think they're gonna just let you walk up to him?
It depends on their age and gender, but yeah. It's how I get through most of my life.
Okay. Guess that's the plan. Well, there's no funeral, so
I'm going to walk up to the shroud and I'm gonna rip off a little portion
Okay.
of it.
Yep.
And
With the blood or without the
yeah,
blood?
take the blood.
I actually want the blood.
Yeah.
I'm
Me
gonna-
too. Just not ready yet.
You're gross. You're nasty. And I'm gonna just tuck it into myself as a reminder of
A little memento.
what I'm here for.
All right, so you can put Thorin's shroud.
And you shoved it in.
With blood.
Yes.
With blood.
You're the
drippings.
weird one.
He was involved in that.
Thorin's bloody shroud.
Blood-
All right. So you do this, and is there anything else you wish to do in Greenest? Those of you who are there.
I just want to
later
pay
we can
respect
use that to
one
find
more
it.
time to the altar and thank the
No money, so.
thank Shantae for giving me a vision.
Okay. And as you do so, you feel just a warmth, a peace that envelops you as you go. It's a very comforting feeling.
Let's get back. We gotta figure out if Morthos is alive or not.
Dead end.
Could
I
be.
swear I won't rest till I find you, Thoric. Dead or alive.
Would you say he's wanted, dead or alive?
No.
Do you walk these streets with a six string in your hand?
Actually, I do.
Let's move on.
Actually,
So you're missing your drums.
I don't have my drum.
Drums are gone.
Did he?
can't
I
explain
was so
that
good
one.
at
Did he
that.
leave anything on you? Like a note? You
Other
seem
than
to
his
have
love.
known him.
Can I
I owe
pat
you one
myself
drum.
down?
Yeah, you can roll an investigation.
On
myself?
With advantage?
There are
What did I miss,
places
a
on your
cavity?
body that
Yeah.
you don't know.
He knows
I am Jax. I know them all.
Maybe if you forgot to change one.
Nice. I checked very thoroughly. 20 thoroughly.
So you look all over your person, in your bag. You check your equipment. You even check on the inside of your loot, knowing that it's a place that a bard might put something. And even there, you find nothing. It seems that the drum is simply disappeared.
That was sign enough. He wasn't very good with words. He's a dwarf.
He was a bard, though.
Yeah, but like a drummer.
We must get back to
Yeah, we gotta know
winter.
what.
Okay.
Water deep.
Water.
Okay, so it's
Saul's probably
another.
dead without anybody.
It's another.
Winter hole. Yeah. Oops.
It's another 2 days travel.
Let's do it.
For you guys to get to Waterdeep. As you spent about a half of day in Greenest kind of preparing, and with this news you stopped and went to the temple, and it took a couple hours to do all of that. And so you're getting underway around noon, and you figure to arrive around nighttime in 2 days. So it'll be a full, basically 2.5 days travel.
I like it.
Meanwhile, Sola and Morthos. Morthos has just been brought back. Nai Thranduin, the Lightkeeper, sits there with a relieved smile on her face as Morthos is making statements to Sola of gratitude and thanks, trying to make sense of what went on. So,
Hola. What happened? How did I die?
I didn't quite see. you were next to me, and then all of a sudden, I lost connection with your soul, and I just felt it slip away.
So
So you do not know who killed me.
I don't. I'm sorry, I was focused on the battle. However, just the fact that you're alive should be more than who killed you.
Oh no, trust me. I don't want to know who killed me.
Maybe someone else in the party saw it. What was death like?
Good question.
I have no idea what that's about.
dead.
I was dead.
Nothing. Okay. I didn't know if your soul went somewhere, or if you heard someone, or.
Did my soul go somewhere?
roll a
Memory.
roll a history check to see how much you remember.
16.
So, you do remember some of what happened.
Good. I do remember.
Your testicles hurt.
Really bad.
A lot.
That wasn't the finishing blow.
It isn't
fall
so
on the
much.
foot.
It isn't so much that you remember the battle, although you remember being felled by one of the Zentarim,
The weak ones.
and you remember as you were bleeding out, your back bleeding profusely, some blunt force trauma to your abdomen.
That's very
It
generous.
was, it was
Lower
very,
abdomen.
very difficult
No, because they
to
went
say because you were kind of fading. Your consciousness was fading, and then you remembered darkness, and then out of that darkness you remember light, and it wasn't a comforting light.
It's because you're a bad guy.
It was,
No, he is not. He is a stand-up citizen.
I'm not there.
She's just yelling.
It was a
She's so used to it.
very harrowing feeling of fire and ash. And the sense that you got was that your soul was being called before some fiendish entity of your ancestry. But then there was another light a radiant light that emerged. And there was a voice that was familiar to you, calling to you that, and not to you, but to the fiendish entity that was claiming you, saying that it's not yet his time. You cannot have him. He still can prove himself. And in the midst of this argument, in the midst of this argument that was going on, and you were without speech, you were kind of caught between the pull of this flaming light and this radiant light and these voices that were speaking. In the midst of that, at your feet, another light emerged, and you heard the voice of Sola.
Friendship.
And she was calling to you to return, saying that it was going to be okay, that you were needed, and that
I'm gonna cry.
and that the world needed you to complete the work that you were made to do. And in that moment, as you heard her voice and an image of the ring that you gave her came into your consciousness, you set your mind to the fact that you were not going to give up. You were not going to go down like this. And as the radiant light from your feet and from above you shined bright and overtook the fiery flames, your body reoriented itself back towards the material plane, and you awoke in your battered but now mended self.
Sweet. You're the $1,000 man.
$1,000 man.
And so you remember that.
Hope he has enough energy to consummate the marriage.
This the ring is never leaving my pocket again.
Fire resistant.
Actually, now that I think about it, I do kind of recall something.
What happened?
It was strange. It was scary at first. But, it was a place you did not want to be. That is what I will say. It is not a good place. And you could just say it was the end. And then there was a light that was not talking to me, but was talking to someone else, saying it was not my time, per se.
Palor?
I am not really sure. I do not know much of the spiritual things, per se. And then I heard your voice. And I saw the third light calling out, saying that to come back. And somehow it allowed me to focus my, I guess you would call it my soul, and back into my body. All I know is the person said that I still have a chance to do right, whatever that means.
Well, I am glad you're back. That sounds hellish and
It's a pretty good word for it. I would say that was a good description.
terrifying. Well, after that whole thing, it just proves that nothing is impossible to the willing soul and willing mind.
And as I look around, do I realize I'm in the Temple of Light? Would I
Yes,
recognize
so
that?
that the light pervades that calm peace that you felt after the initial attack on Waterdeep rests upon you, and as you look up, you see a smiling Nye Thranduin, the Lightkeeper there, listening to you, nodding knowingly.
I take it I owe you a great deal of thanks.
It is not
I who you owe the thanks. I was simply the conduit through which Palor operated, and, of course, your devoted friends.
Paylor, you say?
Yes, this is his temple, Temple of Light. He is the god of light and healing, the one to whom I am devoted, and many of us here. He is consummate good.
Well, thank you for healing him again and allowing us this opportunity. It just proves that darkness cannot overcome the light, and light will prevail.
And with that, I'm just going to kind of get up and just kind of walk around by myself.
Please, I would bid you, take your time, rest.
I'll crawl it, because I'm stubborn.
Would you at least do me the favor of remaining here the rest of the day?
I can do that.
Before you venture out, I would like to just observe you to make sure that there's no residual effect.
Do not like the sound of that.
And so she does. She and her attendant, who, as you look, is kind of standing back in the shadows. Dark hood up, just sitting there, leaning against the wall, arms crossed, just watching all of this unfold between the two of you. And as you get up, you have free reign with the temple, and you inspect the effervescent light that emits from the center of its own power and accord. You see all of the beautiful, precious gems that are around, adorning the temple.
Hey, Taylor, thanks for healing me.
With the frescoes and murals and mosaics.
Nice.
It truly is a place of unimaginable beauty.
By the end of this game, we're all gonna pay.
And you just have such a peace and a joy as you're there, overwhelmed with really a sense of thankfulness that is quickly met with anger as you feel this kind of tension within you over the gift of life that you've received and a desire for vengeance at the fact that you were struck down in the first place.
Oh, yes. I would hate to be the person who did that to me.
And so you guys are there for the rest of that day.
Seek out the horse slayer. I have the title, yes.
Milkman Horse Slayer.
And that rest of that day takes you guys through your first day of travel. And it goes into the next day, and you are released to return to go and do whatever you would do. You basically have 1 day's, a day and a half head start on them in Waterdeep.
It's a honeymoon.
Yeah.
Promise friendship ring.
Honeymoon.
Friend trip.
Sure. I'm gonna make the way back to the house.
Are you guys going together?
I'm actually going to stay in the temple and just kind of, I'd like to talk to Nine and learn a little bit more about Payload.
Okay, and she is glad to speak with you. There are times when she has to leave you to tend to other things, and there are some other acolytes there who she makes at your disposal. And she and her attendants are always together in a pair, going wherever they're doing whatever they're doing. And is there any specific thing you would like to know, or is it just kind of
general
taking it all in?
Curiosity.
Okay, very good. And she gives you some literature on Paylor to read more deeply on him, that you kind of peruse and keep. As Sola, as you make your way back to Troll Skull Manor, there are a couple things that you notice. First of all, the...
It better not be. Oh, I forgot it's still haunted.
Candy and Kyle.
So first of all, you notice that there is a stronger guard presence in the streets of the city.
Probably a good thing. I mean, there was just attack.
And that is there's a an air of heightened tension.
Okay.
You also notice that there are the leftover decorations from a holiday that was just celebrated. As it was just the first of Kythorn, and they celebrated Trolltide, if I'm remembering.
That sounds right.
I didn't.
We want to celebrate trolls.
It's like Halloween.
And you don't know. You see streamers.
Alabama
You
roll.
see unwrapped candies on the ground. You see some little troll masks and things like this, which are in the process of being picked up by the Dung Sweepers Guild people.
What a
Who
terrible guild to be born into.
you're not born into it.
My father was a dung sweeper. His father before him.
Honestly, I hear they have really good benefits.
Yeah. Good vision plan.
Great guardians.
Yeah.
So you're there, and you notice this as you make your way to your manor, and
Please be.
as you arrive, there's the door is unlocked
Oh boy.
but closed.
Should probably lock the door.
It's a haunted mansion. No one's coming in.
I wouldn't put orphans in charge.
We're good people.
Says the horse killer.
You arrive, and the first thing that you notice as you walk in is that it's very clean.
Yeah.
With blood.
You notice that all of the cobwebs have been dealt with. There is no dust anywhere.
Yes.
The tables and chairs that were previously strewn about, though still broken and disheveled, have been set up as if one could sit and have a conversation around the one table that's there.
In our mansion.
And then the second thing that you notice immediately is Candace sitting at that table, alone.
Rocking back and forth.
And she has her hands on her head,
Oh no.
and she's just quietly crying.
Kyle.
It killed him to clean the place.
I walk up to Candace and I put my
As soon as the door opens, her eyes shoot up at you, and she kind of relaxes for a second and sees you. Clearly you weren't the person she was hoping to see, but there is relief at your arrival.
I'm gonna kind of put my hand on her back.
You're home. You're here. Where's the rest of them? Are they okay?
What? Yes, they're just only a day or two behind me. What ails you, child?
I like
Oh yes.
HIV.
Kyle's gone.
Where?
He's been gone for a day. I don't know what to do.
Where did he go?
I talked to the guard and
Horse killer.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We did our best. We were out. We were celebrating Trolltide, and we had our costumes on, and we were getting candy, and it was, we love Trolltide because it's like my name, Candy, and it's supposed to be fun. And then those guys came, and they always pick on Kyle, and they dared him. They dared him to go into the alley,
Oh no.
Which alley?
Oh, the blue
the
one.
blue alley, and he didn't want to be a chicken. And I told him not to go. Told him not to do it. That people would go in there and they don't come out, and he knew it. He did it anyway, and I haven't seen it since then.
Candy, we're gonna do our best to find Kyle.
Don't go in there.
When did they leave? Last night?
You'll be like him.
Did he leave last night?
It was like, no, it was 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago? Did you tell the guards?
Of course, I already said that. Weren't you listening?
It was a little hard with the crying in between, I will not lie.
Sorry, I'm just really emotional. You lose your twin brother like that. No.
Candy, we're gonna do our best to find Kyle.
It's just really weird with the beard.
When did you grow a beard, Candy?
My stress, I'm stressed. Hard nose. Beard grower. Dwarvish.
Well, lost time is never found again. So why don't you go to an inn?
What's that supposed to mean?
We have to set up Molly. Where's Molly?
Yeah, I know. It means that I will start looking for him right away.
Okay.
Okay, so go to the Flares Mall.
Don't go in there alone.
I will not go out there alone, don't you worry. One of our friends is right at the Temple of Light. I will inquire his help.
Okay.
And then when the the rest of everybody comes, we'll go in there all together and go find this Kyle.
This Kyle!
What's his name again?
Never comes back.
Candy, don't forget, he who has a why to live can bear almost any how. So this time, your why is finding
Where's she getting this from?
Your why is finding Kyle. You can bear through this little bit.
Okay. I'm just gonna.
Deep breaths.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stay here with Freddy.
Freddy.
Ready?
The
ghost. The ghost?
Yeah.
Is he a nice ghost?
Yeah.
Sometimes he pulls out my teeth.
I'm glad he's your friend. I'm sure Vincent will be very pleased that you've made a friend a ghost. Now, I'm going to grab Morthos, and we are going to investigate where Kyle is.
You hear that, Freddy? They're gonna help.
Yes.
And when she
Freddy.
says that, the front door opens on its own accord,
Children are good.
and there is a writing in the dirt at the front door that just says,
I'm gonna kneel down and write,
Welcome back.
take care of her.
Our bartender.
Oh yeah.
and the door just slowly closes behind you.
Okay.
That was awesome.
Yes, I love that. It's a friendly ghost.
I'm gonna head back to the Temple of Light.
Okay, you head back to the Temple of Light. Morthos is there studying. It is the next day, so
Okay, so they're there yet?
they have. This is going to take them a whole full day's travel, and they're going to arrive around dinner time the following night. Yeah. So do we just want to fast forward to that?
I just
I
want
was gonna investigate before they get here.
Okay. What are you investigating?
Well, with Morthos, the alley, like
Morthos.
not going in the alley, but investigating around, asking around, sort of thing. So, Morthos, Kyle went into the blue alley and has not returned.
Who is Kyle?
He's the orphan child with Candy.
Oh yeah,
They were
I kind
kids.
of forgot that there were kids with at the house.
Apparently, they befriended the ghost.
They did.
They did, indeed.
Well, let's go talk to the ghost.
Well, Kyle is missing. We need to find out
yeah.
information of where he is.
Did she know whether he went or whether he was
The-
last seen?
The blue alley.
Isn't that the place that what's his name told us
Never to go? Yes. Yes, it is. Apparently, it was a dare. And
Guess where we're going.
Well, I just came back from the dead.
We're not
I'm not going.
We're not going in tonight. We're just looking around tonight to see where he might have
No,
gone
I'm going to stay right here. I am not going.
Why wouldn't you go?
I
Now
was
you
told not to
already-
go. Not to go into the blue alley. I do not want to go into the blue alley. Let's wait for the rest of the
You're not
group to
kidding
come
if
back.
you don't go.
He could be slipping
And
away
you
each
can
and every
sleep on the
day.
couch.
We don't have a couch.
He's slipping away. He could be dead. This girl could be without a
I
brother.
am crumbling up the papers I was reading in my fist.
Morla's gonna last a long time.
And I just throw them across the room. And
Prenup.
say, Wayne, let's go get ourselves killed again.
I love it! I can't. Thank
He
you.
loves her so much.
He knows what happens if he doesn't obey.
We're gonna head near the blue alley, but not in it.
Roll a history check. You can both do this.
I don't even know where it is.
16.
We took
Yeah,
a
we
tour.
went.
We took a tour. Hopefully.
I know that being, but I actually remember 13.
13. You both remember that
Your way out.
Vincent
Stay out.
on the tour, he told you that the blue alley was in the C ward. He didn't point out exactly where it was. He just said if you ever see blue tiles, just to turn around and leave. So that was the direction that he gave you.
Do you know what the blue tiles mean?
I do not. I just know that stay away.
I wonder if it's a gang or some
They
sort.
don't have fun.
Anyways, are there any like alleyways? So I walk to the C ward.
So you guys go to the C ward, and you can
Just kind of drag my feet behind.
Just like kicking rocks.
Clearly mumbling.
you can roll a investigation check.
Come on, investigator. Not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it.
13.
13.
So both of you
That's
are
precious.
Sola. You are
Bonding for
intent on finding this, and Morthos, you can't help yourself. You're just naturally taking in the environment, but
Sola.
you're not really trying to find this alley. You're more intent on just watching Sola's back as she goes around.
Yeah, you are.
Not out of anything romantic.
Lies.
Purely sexual.
But just because
Friendship
at this point right
I
now,
would say I'm not gonna survive the night.
at this point right now, she
like a
is
good
your only friend and the only person who you feel like you can trust. So for all her quirks, you know you can trust her. But you don't really find any leads on this. Again, people are pretty tight-lipped. They seem to be going about their business in a focused way where they're not, it's kind of like the New York City streets. We're just getting to where we're going. We're not
A
talking. to
zebra
people.
can walk past them and they wouldn't notice.
Yeah. And the guards are polite but gruff, and they wave you on. They don't really, unless you have a dire issue, they're not really giving you heed. Yeah. They're focused on their own tasks. And in the C ward, which is the upper crust of the city, which by way of remembrance, you're kind of up here in this quadrant, is the C ward. They're focused on making sure that the wealthy and the nobility that are here are safe. That's their main priority.
Does everybody seem tense to you? The guards more gruff than normal, people walking with a
Perhaps.
brisk. Perhaps something happened? Or is going to happen?
Maybe they are all scared of the blue tiles. Maybe we should not be here.
This was near the Temple of Light as well, though. Nowhere near the blue tiles. And we are going to the blue tiles because that's where Kyle is. We must save his soul.
I do not really notice. I was not paying much attention.
And the guards, I try to walk up to one,
You
but
can roll persuasion.
okay.
Ooh. I think Dan danced around.
14.
Ooh.
Blue Alley. What do you want to know with that?
A child that we know very well has gotten lost in the Blue Alley.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Listen.
couple hours?
Yeah.
There's no
Named Kim.
way we're
Kyle.
going in there. And I strongly advise you to just stay
I
away.
agree with him, let's go.
What do they mean? Is it a gang symbol like the Xanthar or Xanthium or
No, it's-
that?
You had it right the first time.
Those two.
There was. I was trying to name the
Kind of
other.
mashed them together.
No, it's some magical alley that some crazy wizard created.
Which wizard?
I don't know, it's been here for a long, long time, and most people that go in there are never seen again.
Why is everybody tense and nervous? What's going on?
How long have you been here?
I just arrived back in town today.
Well, there's a gang war that's escalating
Where?
here, and it just keeps getting worse. These two groups are fighting. It's mostly contained to the dock ward. It's like a war zone in there.
Are innocents getting hurt?
Well, we're trying to do our best.
And when did they want
Captain
their silver?
Staggett's down there marshaling the forces.
Do you guys need our help? We have worked with Captain Staggart before. He knows us.
Now you want to go help them? You forget about, what's his name, Kyle?
We can accomplish both missions. After we
You'd
find
have to
Kyle.
talk to Staggett. That's out of my jurisdiction.
Well, thank you for your help. Can you show us where these blue tiles are?
No.
There's a child missing.
I heard that, and I told you, stay away. I don't want there to be 3 missing people.
Well, I would risk my life in an instant for him.
Glad to hear that. Stay away.
You know who I bet knows where they are? I bet Vinny does. Why don't we wait for them?
Seems at this rate we must.
Great idea. Let's
Now you can
go.
go talk to the ghost.
Let's go back to whatever we picked the carts up from. I'm just gonna walk there and wait.
To the carts?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go
The
back
train
to
one?
the Merchants League,
That's it.
and you see Fidrick Kent there in her kind of prim and proper garb, and she's just directing traffic, has her little checkboard that she's writing in and kind of peering up over her glasses and writing in, spit spot, carry on, kind of doing her thing.
I'm gonna just
And
kinda
she
lean
sees you, and her eyes furrow. Why are you here? What are you doing here?
That's a long story. I died, they
Where's
brought me
the
here,
caravan?
I came back. It'll be here soon, don't worry.
They're about a day behind. But they are on their way. We have encountered perilous trials.
most troubling. She turns around and just kind of ignores you. But I hope that arrives, or no payment for you. She continues on with her business.
I don't like her.
I mean, there's not much. We still have a day.
At which point I reach in my pockets and go, where did all my gold go?
You were expensive.
The spell, to buy the spell to resurrect you, we had to, everyone, just give as much money as we possibly could.
Everyone?
Except for Holt, we gave him.
I believe so. We needed 1,000 gold, and as soon as I got
1,000
it.
gold? What?
Yes.
I feel honored.
You are a very
They must
important
like me.
person.
Poor.
Absolutely. You have done much good in this world, and I know it will continue. The good that you spread to
I'm
others.
glad that you think I have.
You don't? Why else would
Sure.
you risk your life for your teammates and your friends? And Kyle, going to rescue Kyle, that was good. And you will continue to do that tomorrow.
Whether you like it or not.
Yes.
It's on our calendar. Right after we go to Pottery Barn.
Yes.
He has sips and pinks.
Take me to Starbucks.
You said before
first.
we must wait for the team. Strength in numbers, correct?
Sure, that's exactly what I meant by waiting for the team.
Well, are you doing anything else in here while you wait?
No.
Okay, so Moniker, the rest of you make your way without incident to Waterdeep. The traffic between Greenest and Waterdeep is much greater. So as you leave Greenest, there are other individuals who leave with you, and it's kind of a large caravan that goes.
Oh, get out of the way! I'm driving here! Hoot, hoot! I'm sitting on top of the horse.
Just honking.
I was gonna say we're driving horses.
Most
My loot!
you are actually in the way of most people.
Doesn't matter, I'm still doing it.
And so as you're slowly crawling along the road, people have to kind of go around you. And so there are carriages and horsemen, and it's two-way traffic as you see people mostly in groups, very few single travelers. In fact, you don't see any lone travelers as they all kind of, you make your way. Nothing that really jumps out at you is out of the ordinary. If anyone cares to roll anything, you certainly can.
Just real quick, did we get told that the whole incident with the fake Paraton got blamed on that she blamed it on the black people?
Blackwoods.
Blackwoods.
You weren't told anything.
She didn't
We
say
don't know
that.
anything about what.
Well, you.
What did he?
They just know that we were seen in that area.
No. Did you tell us that you told the guards
You guys heard me.
that they did it?
No, they left. You
No.
were by yourself. And
Yeah.
then
She was
Mark
there
went
by
down.
herself and never
Yeah.
mentioned the conversation about with the
Never
girl.
mind.
Oopsies!
Never mind. Go.
We'll see how this plays out.
Did I do that?
We are public enemy number 1.
Seriously.
And so
Think I'm okay.
you make your way to Waterdeep. You get to the gate. Because Expo is there, you have expedited travel
Good
through,
thing he's alive.
and you kind of dispense with the inspection of the goods. He holds out the seal of the Merchants League, and you're let through. And as you go through, you also notice the increased guard. You noticed the tension. There is a town crier that you hear call out. First thing he says is, "Black Viper still on the loose. Castle Lanter family offers reward for the capture. Public meeting of the masked lords on the 8th of Kythorn at Waterdeep Castle. Attend if you have business or are interested in the voting. Gang war escalates. All citizens encouraged to stay off the streets at night. Qualified recruits being taken for the city watch." And those 3 messages are repeated. And
The 8th of what?
Kythorn.
Kythorn, Kythorn. It is currently the 5th of Kythorn, the day that you arrive.
Got it.
Another thing catches your eye as you all make your way through the streets. Having entered through the southern gate, which is right down here.
Why would we do that?
This is the road that you came on. Okay. So you entered through the southern gate, and it leads right up to the Merchants League, which is right around here in the trade ward. And as you come through, you pass through the dock wards, or right along the boundary with the dock wards. And up this main road here from the dock wards, it's very heavily manned with troops. And coming through there, you see an entourage that catches your eye because it is comprised entirely of tieflings. And these tieflings are dressed in a unique garb you haven't seen it worn in Waterdeep at all. They're clearly not from this city. And they have their own guards. They all have dual swords, and they wear reddish hues of clothing, and they are all surrounding what looks to be a small group of male tieflings. One in particular that's very well dressed, and he walks with a air of confidence and importance, and they all center around him. And there are catcalls as they walk to this party. Not catcalls that are flattering, but people mocking them and calling out epithets that are demeaning to this group of tieflings.
Oh, that's sad.
It seems that this while a single tiefling can blend in well enough in the city, that a large group of tieflings that show some wealth and power, especially as they travel through the dock ward, elicit a negative racism that emerges from some of these people. For the tieflings' part, they pay it no heed, clearly appearing to be above this sort of a showing from the people. And this singular figure who has kind of pinkish red skin. The others are mostly reddish skin. This one is red skin, but there's a pinkish hue to it as well.
Oh, she's a girl.
It's a he.
Don't assume gender.
He
Gender
has
stereotype.
he has white horns that curl back from his head, and he wears dark black clothing that has exquisite gold trim. He has a pair of ornate swords that are sheathed, and you can see the gems and jewels that adorn the hilts. And as he walks, it is almost menacing. He has what could be a coin, but isn't. It looks like a little flame that he kind of just dangles between his fingers like a poker chip. And then he flicks it over to his other hand and then dangles it again. And this person clearly has a strong control over this fire magic that he is manipulating without any thought. It's like it's second nature to him. And his entourage walks towards your caravan that has just come through the gate, and you are kind of intersecting in the middle, and one of you is going to have to yield to the other as you're kind of both moving forward.
Hoot hoot! Get out of the way! Hoot hoot! We're driving here!
I slow my car down. Move over.
I'm not driving.
The guy is walking, and he doesn't break stride. He's walking as if he owns the place, and his guard runs up in front of you and they hold out their hands. They don't say anything to you. They just
High five him.
hold out your hands to your horses, and they kind of are forcing you to stop.
Okay.
And we stop.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And they begin to walk casually forward. You guys all remaining silent, just letting him pass.
I'll nod.
I'd like to go. What's going on? Like, what is? I've never seen this before. What is this? Who are you guys?
One of the guards looks at you, and he says, "We have no business with you."
Yeah, that's true. Are you from around here?
No.
We are from Balak.
Didn't hear you.
Back.
We are from Balak.
Where's that?
It is an island far from here. He's tolerating the conversation, but clearly constantly has a one eye on the man in the center as he goes, with that man's what look now to be a personal bodyguard that are attached to his right and left at all times.
He looks important. Who's that?
Lord Enda.
Lord Endar.
Enda.
Enda. Interesting.
He's here on a quest.
Oh yeah?
Of course. Why else would we come to this forsaken city?
I often ask myself that a lot too. This is a piece of crap town, isn't it?
Eli, that's it. I live here. We actually live here.
we own real
We-
estate.
We own a
I
house
have
here.
to like it.
Well, the city itself is actually quite spectacular, but the people are rubbish.
Yeah, I can hear them. They're not
Filth.
very nice to you.
Muck,
Yeah.
slime.
Yep.
Well, in all fairness, you're not exactly nice to them either. But when I say, what are you guys gonna? Are you gonna finish walking through? You're just gonna stand in the middle of our caravan here.
My case is proven.
Don't let her. She doesn't represent our entire group here.
Mm.
I didn't say anything mean. So what quest is he going on?
That is his business.
Is it here, or are you passing through here to get there?
He has come for his sister.
His sister.
That is all you need to know.
Interesting.
Kind of a dangerous time to come with all these gangs here, don't you think?
The politics of this town, they are nothing to us.
Yeah, politics, but the knives, they're politics.
We can defend ourselves well.
Yeah, you look accomplished.
And Lord Endar is the most.
Yeah. His little fire trick's pretty interesting.
So it is.
Can you do anything like that?
He, as the entourage is now passing you, he kind of turns and says, I take my leave. And as
Thank you.
As he does, a flame erupts from his fingers, and then he catches it back and goes forward.
Does he turn back as we go? Does he wink?
No.
That was kind of hot.
He just walks.
Because it was fire?
He calls back over his shoulder, pun intended.
I'll be seeing more of you.
I don't know who you are, but I like you. Carry on.
How about those guys, huh? They seem nice. I feel like I understood them on a spiritual level. Like on a grumpiness level.
I don't trust them. I
Why?
want to get down and ask one of the townsfolk that was yelling at the tieflings.
Yep.
Who were those people? Why are you guys giving them a hard time?
I don't know who they are, but they're tiefling scum, so they can die as far as I'm concerned.
I turn away from him, just disgusted by.
Hey, Milkman, these are your people, just so you know.
And this guy is not well dressed. He's got missing several teeth, clearly from the dock ward, and is finding this as a welcome entertainment in the midst of the gang war that's going on in his little district.
Are there any guards around?
Yeah, that's heavily guarded. But the guards of the tieflings from Balak are keeping their distance from the city watch, who they seem to be mutually respecting each other.
Okay.
Can we tell where they're headed?
Well, they're heading down the road, this main road here, which would take them to if it meets up here, would take them to the center of the town, which is the castle ward, the political center of, and it's also the same direction that you guys are going, because you go to the trade ward to get to the castle ward.
Well, I guess we're following them.
Yep. And you do. And as you get further away from the dock ward, the catcalls subside,
although you do pick up some leery looks as you go.
Guys, Morthos, should we turn in this caravan or should we find Morthos? Is he back at the house? Is he even alive?
I think.
The place we gotta go is right there.
Yeah, I think we got to just drop this off, and then we know that they would have gone into Temple of Light. Maybe we inquire there first.
Morthos either lived or died. I don't think we can do much about it.
Very true. So I think drop off the caravan, get paid, then go to the Temple of
And
Light.
Expo, don't forget Expo.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if something happened to him.
Yeah, we're like
I'm right
50
here.
away.
I can hear you. Hello.
I'm aware.
You.
Yeah. We got close here.
Just funny guy.
All right, how far are we?
He kind of punches you in the shoulder.
Please
And
punch
then-
him really hard.
Jumps up and like punches you.
And I kind of scowl at him a little bit, and
Trips him on his way down.
then I just smirk and then look forward.
We're right here, guys. We're right here.
Yeah.
We're right here. You guys are doing great. You saved me. You saved the wheat. We have more wheat than ever. We're a little late. Fidrik's gonna be a little.
Well, we'll
Sorry
just
about that.
dock it from your pay. But
Yeah.
Can
But
you put in a good word for us?
I mean, we have the extra wheat and everything's. I mean, we're down one horse.
But we have horse meat.
We do have mutton.
I don't know about that, but anyway,
Sure about the horse.
it's right here is the Merchants
Where's
League
the
as
know.
you kind of make your way in,
Just remember, Expo, go to bat for us, all right?
and he hops off
Where's
as
Bat? Where's Bat?
It's up north.
small town.
he hops off the cart and runs over to Fidrik, who watches you arrive. Roll perception.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Ooh, nat 20.
That's a 6.
That's a 25.
Are we in the Merchants League?
Yeah.
8.
16.
We should
19.
too. Oh,
16.
16. 4.
13?
I thought you guys went back to the house.
So Melcene, Eli, and Rygar.
They went there.
As you all emerge, you see in the corner two figures leaning up against the wall, kind of sitting under the shade. One that is giving off a natural light in the shade, and another that seems uncomfortable in that light, more comfortable in the shadows of the trees, but begrudgingly standing in that light. And that is Morthos and Sola.
Woo! I'm gonna hop out of the cart when I see that, and I'm gonna go over and give her a hug, because she did a good job. That's what that means.
I just kind of like. I don't know how else to describe it.
And,
Is Eli your friend yet?
yes,
Yeah.
we are of bondness.
Yeah,
Bondness.
we're Bondness, that's
Bondness.
right.
I'm kind of like that, and then I give him like 2 pats.
It's not a long hug, it's like an awkward, like, good
Side
job.
hug.
Yeah, yeah. And then I stick out my
Hug
hand to
before.
him and shake his hand. I look him in the eye and I say, I'm glad you're still alive.
Yeah, I see exploits as well.
Yeah.
Because you can't get everything you want.
No.
I go over to Sola and I say, Sola, I apologize for not taking your friendship seriously. And I will.
I'm still on the fence.
And I'm still considering. And I saw how you were devoted to this group. And I offer my friendship in return.
I don't want it.
Well, you can keep your friendship.
You are a brave and brave person. I would love.
Your adjectives.
I was gonna say loyal, but not yet. You are blue.
Yes. And watery.
You are brave, and I saw how you stuck up for these. I will gladly receive your friendship, and I look forward to growing it.
Being friendier in the future.
Did we see them go over to them?
Yeah. Once they Eli and Melcene went right away, You guys park the carts, and Rygar saw this as well. Were you following?
Yeah, I went over, just hand on shoulder. Good to have you back, Tiefling.
Thank you.
Good work, so long.
Marthos! I'm gonna run and jump up, wrap my arms and my legs around him like complete koala bear. You're alive! And I'm just gonna stay there.
Eli, would you get this thing off of me?
It's good to have you back, and good running, Soul. I didn't believe in you at all, but you really pulled
What
it
was
off.
death like?
It's true. She said numerous
It was,
times.
it was rather strange.
Do you remember anything?
I do recall some details.
Was it a long path?
No,
A wheat field?
not at all.
Was there a light?
He's alive.
There was light. There was also burning and flames and, you know, probably hell. That's probably where I was.
Wasn't that where you're from?
Well, pretty much. And but then there was a light, and light was
Festus
the only
going
way I
home.
can describe it is it was fighting on my behalf.
The
And,
divines favor you.
Yes, we'll go with that for now. And then I heard Sola yelling. And I kind of focused and came back to life.
Wow.
That's
That's
nuts.
incredible.
Yeah, that's
You know, since you've been gone, there's been a lot more loot for the rest of us.
Yeah, speaking of it, my pockets are a whole lot lighter than I
yeah.
noticed.
So are mine.
Well, I will say thank you
I'm
because
missing an axe.
it was very generous of you. I cannot say I would have done the same.
Oh,
You probably wouldn't, but happy you're alive. Wait, did you just say you're missing an axe?
no.
No?
You're a true
I
friend,
mean,
Marthos.
Steve said that, but Holt didn't.
Oh,
Hold did not say that.
hold. Are you missing an axe?
Eli would have no reason to ask that.
Statement denied.
So I'm watching everybody run over, and I slowly climb off the
Vincent!
cart.
We need you! There's an active kidnapping happening! Quick, Kyle is
Boy, I'm so glad you're back.
I
Because
totally
after
ignore you.
Vinny really kind of knocked you out there, I did not think you were coming back. It was a total knee to the groin, and not in a figurative kind of way. Like when I say
Are you
he
telling me
kicked your
that
lights out,
I take my quarter staff and I hit you on the foot.
knocked your lights out.
So Vinny comes up and kind of awkwardly puts his staff on your
I
foot.
put my hand out.
Ow!
And
Are you
Vinny-
trying to pull a Morthos on me?
Vinny, don't worry. It is okay. And I reach out to shake his hand.
And I just hug you.
And as he does it,
I
I immediately
whisper-
knee him in the nuts. I say,
I cast
we're
shield.
leaving.
Shield. My testicles. Shield. I say, Morthos,
You miss.
I missed.
You run into this energy ball.
Not even
Energy
now.
balls.
This cup of force. It's not a big cup, but
That's canon now.
Work it in.
Hey, on a serious note, guys, Kyle is missing.
Who?
Kyle?
You remember those
Kyle?
stupid kids that somebody brought
They're
back to the house?
orphans.
They are not
Have you
stupid.
been-
We went over this.
Have you been to the house?
Me,
Yes.
no.
The house,
All right.
Candy. She was in tears and she said that Kyle walked into the blue tiles alley.
We
What?
must
Why
turn in the wheat and get him now.
Yes.
Let's go. Now.
What time of day is it?
Stop talking.
Dinner time.
Let's go.
it's about 5 o'clock in Kythorn, which is June. It stays daylight until about 9 o'clock.
We should go talk to Candy, see
I
what
have
happened.
already talked to her. They were out
No
celebrating.
offense, but you don't always ask the right questions.
The first 24 hours in a kidnapping are the most important.
I don't know if this is an act of kidnapping.
this isn't a play.
You don't believe her?
He walked into the blue alley on a dare when they were celebrating this holiday, which they like because Candy's name is Candy and she gets candy.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
can see how that was a pertinent thing to know.
However, he walked into the blue alley and hasn't been seen since.
Well, where does this blue alley go
Wait.
to?
I recall
Candy doesn't have
blue tile equal bad.
Yes.
Stop and go the other
It's in
way.
my
Candy
notes.
implored
Blue
him.
tiles
Yeah.
equals bad.
That's what I would do.
You know exactly where it is because you're from the Sea Ward and you have been warned multiple times to stay away, and you've heard the stories of people who go in seeking fortune and treasure and never come back.
Fortune and
We're
treasure.
That is no place for a child. Why would
with fortune?
It was a dare from his friends.
we have to go?
Yes, I
Wait.
agree. We must leave now.
What do you know? Like, why do people
We
not
have
come?
to go.
I get that. I don't care about that. We're already going.
Does he
Mom
not?
decided.
You think he's okay?
Does that
No.
mean Martha's dad?
Yes.
He's
No.
probably very not okay.
Why though? What
Can
is it?
we
What
save
is-
him?
Why do we need to turn back the other way?
Gangs, magic, dragons. What is it?
Magic, I hear. From an old wizard.
We know an old wizard.
I'm not old.
No.
Name.
No, your guy. Your guy.
Your man friend.
Yeah.
Your trainer.
Or, you know,
The guard is
Your
the one who
leash.
told you about the crazy wizard. Yep.
So what's the reality there? Why do people not come back? She thinks it's magic. Is that what you heard? You grew up here.
It's just someplace that, yeah, there's supposedly myths of fortune in there, but there's no proof of it, anything like that coming out. So
I was told a crazy wizard from the guard.
I walk away with Expo to try and speed along the turning process.
So, Vincent, you know that the rumors are that a wizard created this extra dimensional space that all who would enter would be put to the test for his amusement.
Oh boy.
And
Danger room.
and there are rumors that people survive, which is where the tales of the fortune come from. But overwhelmingly, the stories are that those who go in are never heard from again.
do I know anybody that's come out? Like, what's his name? Big D. Did he go in there?
My buddy? Big
Yeah.
D?
You know
Durban.
that you know that Big D emerged from Undermountain,
Right.
but you haven't heard of anyone who came out of the Blue Alley.
Okay.
All right. So we're going in.
We're kind of responsible for this.
Only two of us are. I forgot his name.
You should see the place. And they befriended the ghost.
Yes.
Let's
His
get
name
the
is
ghost.
Freddy.
It's not what I would have gone with.
Maybe the ghost could tell us more. I still think we should go back. Just to. I mean, he's a ghost in Waterdeep.
I
He's
really
been
don't-
around a long time.
Yeah,
we
but I
have
don't
much
think
time.
It's
Yeah, I don't think we have time. For
So
this.
while this conversation is going on,
Also, I don't think you know.
supposed to come back.
Hold is over with Fidrick Kent and Expo.
Yeah.
And she gives him a pouch that is the equivalent of 400 gold.
Hey.
We promise more?
And that's 50 gold apiece,
We got money to start too.
which is a 25 gold a person bonus.
Oh.
Morthos, don't write that down. I did not give it to you yet.
Because you brought extra wheat and Expo lauds you as defending the caravan not once but twice from attackers. And though you lost a horse, horses are replaceable and the wheat is much more valuable to the bellies of the city. And so Hold has a bag of 400 gold.
Gold has the gold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give him our card.
She tells you, if there is ever a notion that you would like to go on the caravan again, please let us know. And we would, of course, employ your services.
Please reach out to us at Trollskull Manor.
Trollskull Manor, I shall make a note of it. This is where...
It's at the end of Trollskull Alley. North.
In which ward?
North Ward.
The North Ward. You're residents of the North Ward.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Nowhere else.
Wouldn't have
thought that. You are adventurers, though.
No,
Yes.
We've had some adventures.
Perhaps the Merchants League will have use of your services in the future. I would imagine that we will be in touch. And of course, if you care to take any of the open contracts, we would be delighted.
Do you have any copies for us?
The job board's over there. And you go and you look, and there's other caravans going to Greenest. Now that there are open trades with Nightstone, she says if you are ever desiring to go back to Nightstone, that they're going to be going through the harvest season collecting from them. She also says that there will be caravans going up to Golden Fields in the Desarin Valley, which you, Hold, would know that in order to get to Golden Fields you must go through Anfield. And she also says that there is an exploratory team that is supposed to go to Neverwinter to see about increasing trade with them. But what they're exploring are the roads specifically through the very deadly swamp that is between the two. So it would be more of a investigation into the safety of the road through the swamp.
Cool. Mob leveling.
So those are some of the things that are there. So this whole, as that you are required to help unpack the wheat as the final task, and you all do so with gusto, and
There's an active kidnapping going on.
it takes you about 4 hours till about 9 o'clock as the sun is setting. And as you are leaving, you are strongly encouraged by the guard on the street to get indoors as quickly as possible. And if you're heading south, that they would escort you if you were going closer to the dock ward.
Well,
No.
we talk to Candy.
While we're unpacking, I give everybody their gold.
Was it 50 apiece?
I suggest we head back to our house
For the night.
Let's think
Kyle.
about all this.
I can't fight at night. Nor can I think. What? I do damage.
We could first thing in the morning.
Yeah, we're going home.
I hate
I'm
postponing
going.
this more hours, though.
If he's dead, he's
Porthos,
dead.
make sure Sola gets back to the manor.
Are you tired? You can get in my cart. I'll give you a ride.
I'm gonna snuggle up in
Let's
the back
go.
of Hold's car and kind of like look at him, like
With a new light or the same light?
it's a new light.
Right, so you guys make your way to Troll Skull Manor. You arrive. Candy is there. Again, she perks up at the entrance of the door. And now all of you come through, and she's more composed at the prospect of the promises Soul made to her. And so she means, so are you gonna go find him now? Is that what you're doing?
So we investigated the area. We learned more about it. We're going to go first thing in the morning.
You need to go now, right away. No time to waste, please, no time to waste. So,
I know, Candy. However, there are people in this party, they just had a long journey. And if they're tired, they cannot fight. And if they cannot fight, we cannot find Kyle. Or protect him or bring him back.
or persuasion.
She's 12. What is she gonna do? Force us out? 3.
No, it just my brother is he's in danger. He's in great danger. I know you're tired and everything, but you guys are strong. You can do it. You can go find him and then rest and then come home. I need my brother. I need Kyle.
We learned that in portals time is different. It's gonna take all night for only moments to pass where your brother may be. It's happened to us. I promise.
Roll deception.
What?
Only because
You're kind of alive.
While I think you Hold believes that,
I do.
You don't necessarily know that.
10.
She kind of shakes her head. So he's like, it's only been like a little bit for him in there.
I try to snap.
It's like a clang.
He's trying to snap.
Solo, what did you say the ghost was? Freddy?
Freddy.
Freddy, what do you think?
There's no response. As you all kind of come into the room, there's a calm, and then Candy speaks up and she says, "It's okay, Freddy. They're helping me and Kyle, and they've been kind, and they paid us, and we cleaned, and you helped us clean, and you can talk to them, I think."
Freddy clean? I love Freddy.
He can run the bar.
Freddy the cleanly ghost.
What does Freddy say?
Can
he talk?
He writes in the dust that apparently he cleans.
No, that was outside. There's actually
That's
no
the
dust inside to write on.
Does he
Okay.
have very
Is
sharp
there-
knives
is
at
there
the
a
end of his
mirror?
fingers?
Yes.
Is there a mirror?
There is a mirror that's cracked
It's
and
fine.
broken, but it's behind the bar.
So I go over to, I go, Freddy, I'm gonna blow on this. What do you think?
It's actually just a
So you blow on it, and there's like this much.
Forget
it's a
W. My depth perception's off. That won't work.
Just there's some sand on the bar.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea.
Don't bring the dirt in.
They just clean.
Put it in the box.
We can
I have 1,000 ball bearings he can write in the box.
You feel a push on your journal.
Is this what you want me to get?
It is. You feel it kind of lifted up out of your hand and then placed back in your hand.
Okay. I'm gonna open it.
Okay.
Dear diary.
What do you want me to look for? Or do you want to write?
You feel the book lift again and come down when you said you want to write.
Okay, that's a yes. Does anyone have writing utensils?
Do you think a ghost can hold a pen?
Perhaps
Well,
he
you
already
just
wrote.
picked the book up, so maybe.
Oh, I have a writing utensil. So I prick my finger and hold the quill, I guess, out with the book open.
And the quill is taken and strokes are made
Okay.
that are invisible to everybody. You don't see what's being written.
Okay. I make my eyes go black.
And as you do so, you see like dots on the pen, on the paper, as if it's like trying to figure out how to get the ink to come out.
Just right, man. Just right.
And like squiggy lines.
I'm seeing all of it.
And then the pen kind of goes sideways for a second, and then just writes, "Find him."
Okay. He says to find him.
Oh, thanks. That was super helpful.
That is what he told
Can-
me when I first left the.
We
process
will.
room.
Freddy, can you give me any advice on what to expect? We will find him.
Don't die.
That's good advice. Okay. Anything else I may need to know, Freddy?
Been there, done that.
Is it? Do we have to worry about magic, gangs? I feel like you've been around for a very long time.
Ask him how long.
Beyond me.
That's what he says. Beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means, Freddy.
The pen is placed back down in the book.
Like, it's beyond me. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
He's
What you
probably
done with the place?
Hold is so heavy.
on a different plane.
The door slowly opens.
Mm.
The
front door?
Yeah.
I say we leave.
You
I
can
think
ask
we
them
need
to
to
stay
go.
the night. None of us are good at fighting at night.
Speak for yourself. I can see fine.
The assumption too is that it'll be nighttime where we're going.
Yes, that is a good point. We do not know that.
If
I
it
say
is,
we leave
I head out
immediately.
the
His
door.
life can be in danger.
if it is a magical dimension, who knows?
I would like to insight what Eli told me about what the ghost said
Okay.
for
Roll,
intentions.
roll insight. Hey yo.
16.
So, it's not so much the insight that you get from Eli and his words. You read more so Candace. And you can tell that she thoroughly trusts this Freddy and is felt comfortable staying in this house alone with him there. And so that sets you at ease that this is a entity that doesn't mean harm and genuinely is trying to seek the best for Kyle.
Let's go. Freddy, when we get back, we gotta talk about the history of this place then.
You hear 2 knocks on the front door.
Okay. And the door's open, right?
It was open for you, yep.
I'm walking out.
Yeah. Candace, we are going to find Kyle. Stay safe.
It's okay, Jax.
Take heart.
I will.
Out
You
of
might
game,
have to
are we
Stay
full
away from my
health?
horses.
Yeah, you're full
We've
health.
rested
You're,
along those ways.
I already
yeah,
killed them.
you're
I have both
Okay.
of my horses.
All right.
Vincent,
You're
lead us
lucky.
to this blue
Vinny, take us, yes.
alley.
I already
Did
walked
blue.
out.
It's only a couple blocks over.
Yeah, we only couldn't find it.
So it's going to take you about 20 minutes to get there. And as you do so, I'm
How
going
did
to put my
we miss
notes.
this before?
Well, we weren't really looking for it.
I was.
The blue alley?
Yeah,
Seriously,
with me
we
and
couldn't
Louis.
find alley
I
where
guess
people just
so.
die all the time.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
This
The
is
most
Very
famous alley in the world.
active kidnapping.
This is ridiculous.
You'll sleep when you're
Look,
dead.
he just grabbed a folder from
Yeah,
this
but we're gonna
section that
have to
says
look
level
at it.
17.
Right.
It's like, all right, party wipe tonight, baby.
That was his fault. The ghost could have let us slept. Or not stealing Kyle.
I'm ready.
Okay, so you guys
Well,
make
I
your
don't
way
think
up
he
to
anticipated us getting here.
the Blue Alley, which is off of Ivory Street in the Sea Ward. It's this street that it's off of, and it's easy enough to locate the cobblestone, the blue tiles that Vincent directs you to. As you approach, you see a couple things that catch your eye. One, there's no light in this alleyway.
Of course not.
2, there are no people on the streets really other than guards. With the exception of someone who just kind of sitting at the mouth of the alleyway on the ground, hunched over, arms crossed, hood up, and it just kind of there, just minding their own business. And you approach.
I light my
Do it.
torch.
Do we? Oh,
Okay.
Excuse
I
me.
thought we might want to sneak up.
Whoops.
Did you see a young boy go into this alley
Between the holes.
2 or 3 nights ago? About 13 years old?
I do not know.
Hey, we know that
Here.
voice.
I do not know
Am I
what
wrong?
happened here.
Yeah.
It is a little different.
Isn't that?
It is
Okay.
little different. I am Perch. Tabaxi.
What's your name?
Perch.
Porridge. Porridge?
All I heard was Parridge the
God,
Baxter.
Perch.
Purge.
Purge. I love the way you trill your R.
Parridge the what?
The tabaxi.
And you can see
He's
that
a cat folk.
he is as he looks up at you, his face is covered in dark black fur. and he has a cape that, if it weren't for the street lamps that are on Ivory Street, he would have just faded right into the shadows. You wouldn't have seen him at all. And as you hold Lights' torch, it illuminates him, and he's there unassuming, other than the fact that he is there at the mouth of this alleyway.
Well, sir, if you haven't seen him or know any information, we need to get past you to go find him.
So you are going into the blue alley.
Yes. There's a young child, and we must bring him back home.
I do not know of this child. However, he would make a request. Hairball. Request of you.
Yes.
I have a patron, a benefactor.
Who is Benefactor?
Benny.
Brother of Benny
Benefactor.
and Hannah.
Oh yeah.
They are requesting an item. A small statue of a unicorn. It is said to be located in the alley. If you would bring the unicorn to me, I would pay you.
Why do you not go into the alley?
Because I am not strong enough for it.
You have to be strong to go in the alley?
Yes.
Good. I'm ready.
What does this unicorn do?
I do not know.
How can I be assured it's not going to be used for evil?
You have no assurances. All I am telling you is that my patron would like it.
Who is your patron?
I do not know his name.
Then I'm sorry, I cannot retrieve the statue for you.
I'll get a statue.
If I can find a statue.
It could be used
How
for
much?
evil.
It's a statue.
It could be a magical
800 gold.
Good.
800 gold.
We will
Per
get it.
person?
That's a good rate.
If we get it,
For
we'll
you,
find
for
out.
the statue.
For Sola, we'll find out what it's for before we sell
He
it.
could be in a gang war, and this could be used for the dock war fight.
Yeah.
It's a magical alley.
Yeah.
There are no assurances it's not magical.
So, as you say, life is a journey, not a destination.
Very true.
Think about it.
However,
He stands up at this point, and he holds out his arms, and he says,
Do I look like a threat? A threat to you?
Whose statue is this?
Mr. Unicorn.
"Are you rolling insight?
Whose is
You
it?
have advantage."
No.
The alleys.
I'm asking him.
ooh, 19 plus 8.
27.
It would take
As
me
he
too
does
long.
that, a dagger falls out of his cloak. Pay no
Pay
attention.
no attention to this.
He, as you look at him, he is clearly dressed so as not to be seen. But at the same time, what he's telling you, what he's asking you, there's no guile in him. He has been given a job, and he's simply trying to find people to accomplish that job. Nor is he seeking to hide any information from you in talking about his benefactor. He genuinely doesn't know who it is. It's more like, I have a job to you, and I'm asking you to help me to do it.
Is there any advice you could give us in going as we go in here?
The only thing that I have been told is to watch everything.
I don't even have a watch.
While this is kind of all going on, I am going to be looking at using Cold's light, like the outside of the alley, looking at the floor, looking at the wall. The first thing I'm looking for is to make sure there's no like magical traps or magical anythings.
Roll perception.
Like things that you walk into and you explode.
Ah, that was really close. 4.
You look down the alley, and as the light kind of fades,
Looks like
you see that it's relatively clear. There's some detritus scattered about, but nothing that looks like a trap.
Is it blue?
The stone is blue on the ground.
Vincent, do you sense any magic here? I'm not
Magical alley,
super
right?
great with that.
The alley is magical. Perch, how long have you been here?
I've been here for long enough. I certainly would like to go, but those who have gone in already have not returned.
So you sent other people in there ahead of us?
Yes, yesterday a pair went in, and the day before that, 3. The day before that, I was not here because of the festival. Too many things around.
That is when Kyle.
Do you know who this statue belongs to?
I know nothing of the statue other than I am to retrieve it.
He said Benefactor wants it.
He wants it, but doesn't mean it belongs to him.
Probably
We are not
doesn't.
thieves.
Doesn't mean we're stealing.
Nor
either.
are we going to use it
No,
for evil.
No. No, I said we're gonna check it out
We
first.
might
The alley is a test for those who are worthy. I would think of it more as a prize than as stealing.
I heard there was more of the tool of the amusement of some crazy wizard.
As I said, a test. Pass the test,
Okay.
and they will pay you.
Well,
That
obviously,
Morthos just starts
Morthos.
walking towards the alley.
Oh
Okay.
boy, here we
Follow
go.
him.
So
Whatever.
you all enter in,
Yep.
and
Pretty much.
Light up something.
it goes down about 30 feet, and it continues on. But there is another
Shield up.
turn, a left-hand turn. And as soon as you make the turn,
Take heart, guys. For we can overcome this. Sorry. Go ahead.
as soon as you make the
overcome the
turn,
world. But we're
you
in the
see in front of you a pedestal.
There's a unicorn right there.
Nice, this was easy.
Yoink.
Oh, here we go.
Anyone have a bag of
Look
sand?
how big this is.
You have a little paper.
It's dungeon
Looks like
time.
a golden head.
Okay. So you see the pedestal
I kind of hope we were
up here, and as you approach,
We might yet.
you see this alley is 10 feet wide with this blue cobblestone, sandstone type of construction. A tin sign on the wall just outside of this alleyway now says the Blue Alley. And there's this podium of gleaming blue stone just atop. And you can see very clearly that atop the podium lies a quill beside a heavy book bound in blue leather.
It's a guest book.
Exactly.
As you look forward, there is a shimmering effect about 20 feet in front of you. It just shimmers.
Where's Tony?
You're at the front, Morthos. And what is your marching order here?
I'm right behind Morthos.
I'm behind Solon.
Okay.
Can we go 2 by 2? Is
Well-
that it's wide enough?
Yeah,
for
it's
two
10
to
feet wide.
cross?
I'll be up with Morthos.
So you two in the front with her and
Oh.
you behind?
Thought I was in the front.
Okay.
Oh no, you can be in the front though. That works. Lock me. I'll be right behind him.
I want to see what that
I was
shimmering
kind
is.
of at the front. I want to read the book.
So
I'm gonna find
Yeah,
Kyle's
that's what I'm
face.
gonna
Use your magical eyes.
So I'm just gonna put you guys on the map. I'm not putting you in the map yet, but I'm just putting you in the order that you are.
Hold wanted to be up front with Morthos. I'll be right behind him.
So as we're walking, just to reiterate, we want to look for Kyle, obviously, and if we can, potentially,
Not die.
well, that's a given, find this unicorn statue.
I don't know about retrieving this unicorn statue?
I don't really care. If I see it, I'm gonna get it.
What happens if it is used for
What happens?
evil?
What happens? Swords can be used for good or bad, right? It's the person using it, not the tool.
Exactly, but should we receive it for?
How do you know it's not gonna be used for good?
Make
Perhaps
good
we should make
berries
this person.
real quick.
Thank you.
And
Dang time.
Okay.
Good berries.
So you have the good berries that you hand out. Very good. All right. So Morthos in the front, hold next to him. You approach the podium.
Yeah, I'm gonna read what the book says.
So you open it up, and it's filled with hundreds of names, and it just says, guest, and it says date. And as you try to turn the pages back, it only goes back a few pages, and it's like magically sealed. And the last date that you see on there is from about 20 years ago.
Oh.
But the most recent date that you see was yesterday. And the names that are written there have lines crossed through them.
Oh.
You go up, crossed through. You go up, crossed through. And you go up and you find a name that says Kyle. And there's no cross through.
Oh, he's alive!
And then you go behind it. The name crossed through, crossed through, crossed through, crossed through, crossed through. Another one from a couple years back that isn't crossed through.
What's the name?
And the name is... What's the name? This is why... Paraj. No, it is... Have it.
It's unreadable.
Well,
A language we don't know.
While he's looking,
Kyle's still alive?
good.
It feels that way.
I'd like to look
goodness.
around the room.
I think we should sign the book as moniker.
I thought we were the defenders of the week.
No. Too long.
I like that idea.
I don't think
Finding
we
it
have to
Monica.
write our names in it. I think it'll take care of it. itself.
What's the pen for then?
It's
There might be someone in
The
here.
names are written in
I was going to say
different
handwriting.
different
Different
handwriting.
handwriting.
Yep.
I think we have to sign it. But I think we
Kyle,
should do
let's
it
make
as
yourself
one.
into-
I'm really feeling the team energy here, guys.
Well, as 4, 5
I'll feel your energy
are my
with your
friends right now. To be continued.
Is that our team name?
To be continued.
No hold barred.
TBC.
No hold barred it is. And I signed it.
No, you don't.
Just let the
I cross it out.
We should.
DOTW. Dwa.
I can't find the name.
Under date, I write
All right.
yes.
Retcon this later.
Yep.
Yes, please.
Anyway, it's a name.
That we'll find out
Is it
next
someone
week.
we would have met already?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Different
Okay.
names.
Someone we will meet.
Someone we will meet.
But there aren't. It's not generalized names that are written. It's individual names that are written in there.
Let's try it generally.
It's like
I think
Hunger
we
Games.
should try our generalized.
I think I look around first.
Yep. You look around and you see what I described before.
Okay.
It's a clear, shimmering, about 20 feet in front of you.
I go up to that wall.
Okay. You go up to it.
Or shimmer.
Yep.
And does it feel good? Being
Is it,
close
like,
to it?
warm?
As you get closer, you feel a hum. And you
I'm gonna walk
you take you, there's some rubbish on the floor. You take it and kind of kick it towards this wall, and it hits the wall and immediately just pushed back. There seems to be some sort of wall of force.
I think we must write our names now.
Yeah.
Where's
I just
Tony?
write Morthos in the book with today's date and
Tony can't
walk
write his
towards the
name.
wall.
I hate
Okay.
portals.
As you write your name in the book, and it's weird. You're standing in front of him. Morthos writes his name in the book. The force field, this wall of force, brightens for a second, and Morthos's body kind of shoots forward from the podium, through your body,
See ya.
and kind of phases to the other side.
I don't care anymore.
And appears there now opposite you with the wall of force between you.
I'm gonna pick up the pen and just gonna go, why must it always be a name? Write it down. I write it down.
Sola, same thing. Sola goes in. And is anyone not going to write their name?
I don't know how to write my name,
I'll write his name.
but I do it last. I'm like, oh no!
H-L backwards L.
I know how to write my
In a crayon.
You're all shunted through.
Yeah.
Zoop, 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 zoop. And you're
I
on the other
vomit
side.
on the other side.
And so here, as you all get to the other side, I'm going to put you in when it's necessary to put you in. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of take the
That's fine. Yeah.
things off.
This looks
Interesting. Intense.
Yes, it does.
As you approach the other side, you see that the alley splits into branches running east and west.
Split the party.
Is it bright or is it dark?
All these alleys now that you've passed through this force field, everything is unnaturally lit. Everything is alight. A brightly colored mural is painted on the northern wall at the intersection.
A happy mural?
Well,
or like a mural of murder?
It depicts.
What kind of cry is it?
Okay. It depicts numerous adventurers falling victim to every conceivable form of trap. Scything blades, spiked pits, collapsing roofs, jets of fire, poison gas, and many other things are all featured. At the top of the mural, the word silver is painted above an arrow pointing east, while the word gold is painted above an arrow pointing west. So for our purposes, this is east and this is west. East, west.
I would think perhaps Kyle would go towards gold, would you not, as an orphan child?
Why?
Gold has a higher value.
They come from no money. They might just take whatever they can get. I don't want to make assumptions like that.
Fair enough.
You might also be too scared to think that way.
With all the traps.
Yeah. I mean, what are you feeling the minute you look at that terrible, terrible mural?
Why would he
Loves her double
take
bluff.
this dare?
Because he's an idiot kid
But he is a misled child.
who's also stupid.
No. Everyone has
And
an
we're-
intelligence in something.
We're pretty
Eli.
stupid too because we followed him in here.
Hold on, where did it say gold and silver?
Gold
On
is
the
in
mural.
The left one is
On the mural?
At the top of the mural.
Do the people look like they chose either of those directions?
Roll a perception check.
See if the people look like us.
Yes! Finally! 19. I'm also looking to find anyone that's alive on the mural.
So you examine the mural, and as you look more closely at it, you find that there are depictions of the 8 of you
I knew it!
being mutilated by these various traps.
Ooh, how do I die?
Knew it.
But with that, you also find in almost legal small fine print in the bottom right-hand corner words that say, 50 feet south of the barred window is a secret door.
50 feet south?
I did not tell any of you this.
Sure.
Please don't tell us.
50 feet south of
55.
the barred B-A-R-R-E-D window or B-A-R-D window?
Definitely spelled it like me.
I did too.
That's good.
Is a secret door
50 feet south is what, you say?
of the barred window?
Oh, we're gonna find a window that's barred. We go south of there, which currently looks like...
Is not in the direction, we can go east or west.
Yeah,
Right.
we can't do that.
Can I take
I vote
note
west.
as in the image of who's dying how?
Sure. So hold is being melted.
Can you melt a stone?
There's also
No.
metal.
There are a few different
Oh.
things.
Melcene is impaled.
Oh. This
Good.
is gonna be important, guys.
Eli has his head chopped off
Nice. Yeah.
Just like your own
with
blood, you're covered with
scythes. Rygar is electrocuted.
Aw.
Vincent is covered in boulders.
I was gonna say you're unicorn poop.
Just a metric ton.
Sola is holding her throat as gas pours in around her. Morthos has several daggers and swords sticking out of him.
Awesome.
And Jax, you are not actually depicted dead.
Oh.
You are depicted with wide eyes
You're Tony Stark.
and shaky hands, having gone insane.
Is that what I see too?
Well,
We must pick a direction. There's no clear.
I would like to. We can still investigate the area, right? See potentially if there are any footprints or
do
something.
I see any child footprints?
Well, that's basically, yeah. Do we see anything that looks like Kyle would have chosen a direction?
Roll investigation.
I'll help you.
Okay. Does that mean a roll again?
Advantage, yep.
18.
So as you look at the floor, it seems that it is spotlessly clean. Almost magically so. And even as you walk, you don't leave any tracks anywhere.
Okay.
I just say
Anything on the ceiling?
It goes up about 20 feet and is all blue
Square?
stone.
Okay.
Yep. All alight. Everything is, nothing's in shadow.
Well,
We gotta go.
silver or gold?
I mean,
Silver.
We're
I,
here
like
for
gold.
gold.
I prefer silver on them.
Can I investigate their west direction of gold for traps? If there's, I don't find anything. I'm gonna
Yeah.
walk
We're here
that
for
way.
Go
gold.
ahead.
We might as well
Roll
get gold.
investigation.
I thought we were here for Kyle.
Yeah, the test might not be how greedy you are, so
Investigation,
we might
19.
want to go with the
19?
less
As you
fortunate.
look around, you check the ground, you check for holes in the wall anywhere. Nothing looks dangerous to you. It looks like
Then I'm gonna walk right to the corner.
you walk
And
to the western corner. There are
western corner.
some crates that
Is
are
that gold
there.
or silver?
Gold.
So this is towards gold.
Okay.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna peer down and see what I see.
I thought silver was east.
It is.
Silver's east.
Silver's
Isn't that east?
North is this way.
You
Yeah.
did say it opposite.
Yeah, but I think on doesn't it show different
Well,
on
no,
camera?
he can see.
Whatever
to
it
the
is,
viewer.
whatever it is, that's gold.
Okay.
That's gold.
This is gold.
Confused.
And you
Yeah.
see a
I thought it was
long
that way, too.
hallway remaining 10 feet wide. You see stairs that go up, and you see the opening of another pathway.
None of that's on camera.
What?
Try to.
It's too
Oh. A little more.
This is a giant map, so it's really hard to actually
Well, it's
get.
actually on. Just yeah, it's been
It's
cut off
just
on the other side.
just cut off. There you go. Now you're on.
Okay.
All right. So are we going? We're going gold.
Yeah.
Stay golden.
I see nothing down this hallway. Just stairs and nothing.
I want to try to make a notch in the corner of the wall that we're going west in case this is some sort of weird.
Okay. You try to do so, and it is resisting your notches.
All right. I also want to look at those things in the corner.
Crates.
Crates and barrels. You can investigate them. 7. They are filled with sand.
Let's take it with us. Mark our territory.
Yep.
You just
Good
hold
idea.
it and drag it.
Yep.
That's a great idea.
The floors get cleaned magically, though.
Perhaps not with magical sand, though.
So you take
Take a
No.
handful, and I want to throw some on the ground. What happens to it?
stays there.
Okay. I want to walk back to where we were and then come back to it. Is it still there?
So you have a trail of sand from here to here.
All right.
Cool.
I want to fill up 3 vials of that sand.
Okay. You do so.
Super sand.
Who wants to hold the bucket
Pocket sand.
of sand?
Hold.
I'll grab something.
I'm not. I'm going to
Since I can see,
possibly
I'll
need my
grab one.
shield.
And I'll check it. Check it around. Sand.
So we'll be going down the hallway then?
Yeah.
Or do we want to see what's down the other hallway?
Let's look down the other hallway before making a decision.
Sure.
So you go and peek down the other hallway here.
Yep.
Why not?
That's good. Things don't disappear as we.
You see another long hallway. And the one thing here that is of note, where there were barrels in the other hallway, in this hallway, on the west of the alley, so on this side here, so I guess this is west and this is east, but anywho, there is a carving into the wall of a skeleton, right there. And it's a humanoid skeleton with outstretched arms and a mouth open as if screaming.
How about we go the sand way?
I thought that maybe logic would dictate to go the opposite.
Does it? As we walk,
Maybe,
as I walk by the
maybe they're
mural,
trying to scare you not to go this way.
does the mural go from floor to ceiling?
Mm-hmm. It's large mural.
Is there any way for me to move it?
It's in the wall.
Oh, it's carved in the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but we should go with the skeleton.
Do you not think that this was another contestant who died? We were in a mural.
In the wall.
We were a mural in the wall.
I think it might be telling us what lies ahead.
I think it's a warning as opposed to the other one, which is nothing. I would
Morthos.
rather.
What did you see the other side?
Nothing. It's just a hallway with stairs at the end.
Let's go.
Which
Let's
one?
go to the stairs.
All right.
Okay.
We're gonna have to make tough choices this whole time.
So you guys go up here, and as you get about halfway through, you notice there's also a door here. And opposite that is this side hallway that goes up, and then stairs that go up.
Any more murals?
No more murals that you see.
No writing?
Nothing.
No arrows telling us where to go on the ceiling?
Nope.
There should be.
Somebody want to check the door for traps? Your
Or
investigation
do
is
we
better
want to
than
keep
mine.
moving south?
Aren't you an investigator?
Yes,
All right.
but he is better at it
I'll
than
help
I
Find
am.
traps using perception.
Yeah.
Oh,
Should.
it's perception, not investigation.
I don't know.
What do you
We haven't
want
done
to
it much.
It depends on the trap.
What do you want me to roll if I'm checking the door for?
This would be perception.
All right. Are you helping me? That's gonna be good. 23.
Okay, so as you look it over, you see that the door is made of iron, coated in ivory, and is carved with figures of carnivorous animals like lions, tigers, and wolves eating their prey.
Are we there?
The door is locked, and that's all you really see. You don't see any traps, you just notice that the door is locked. And that is right here.
Can I listen to the door to see if I can hear anything behind it?
Sure. Roll perception.
10.
You hear nothing. It's eerily quiet in this whole area.
I'm gonna kind of peer my head up at the northern hallway.
You want to keep going up this way?
No, I think the other one.
Just
Oh, this here?
yeah, just a little bit.
So you peek in and look,
Yeah.
and it oh, got shifted. Put that there. It oh, that's what happened. The whole thing shifted. There we go.
It's not there.
Okay, well, basically, it's just another hallway that is up there.
I'm just gonna softly call, Kyle!
Can you see? Can it be seen?
Just wait.
No.
Well, there's a delay.
He just moved it. Yeah, now it's
Yeah, you can see it. Absolutely.
better. Yeah.
The paper's at the very top of the screen.
Okay, this is the top of the map, so.
Okay, so we don't have much further to go. What I want to, well, what's in the boxes?
There's another hallway down here with more boxes.
So Sol alerts you to that.
I'm gonna look in the boxes.
Go ahead and
Perception?
investigate.
I'll help you.
17.
17. You crack the lid on the first box, and it's more sand.
There's more sand in here.
You crack the lid on the second box, and I need you to make a dexterity check.
And it's gas.
Crit fail. It was on a 13.
And as you crack the lid on that box, as you kind of hit it with the edge of your sword and pry it open, at the impact with your sword, it just erupts into flame, and you take 6 fire damage.
If only I had the ring back.
And it burns it burns all of the other barrels that are there, and it's only affects you because you are the only one proximate to it.
Careful, some of these barrels have traps in them.
Is there a space underneath the door that has the iron door that has the ivory on it?
Nope, it goes right up to it.
Back to this door. Do we want to try to open it?
Nope.
What would Kyle do?
He wouldn't.
Probably not. You're right. He would not probably pick
I would
it
go
up.
upstairs.
Kyle would go up the stairs.
I think those are down the stairs.
It's up.
They're definitely up.
They're upstairs.
Yeah. If I'm a 13-year-old kid, yeah.
Who's just trying to get out.
It is a good point. The 13-year-old kid, yes. He
I
would
can't-
not have gone the other way because of the skeleton.
I
Probably
can't
would
pick
have
a lock.
scared him. He wouldn't
There's
have picked a
also
lock.
there's a door at the top of these stairs.
Okay.
Nope, down the hallway it
So
is.
down the hallway it is.
Is that door locked or just closed?
You
Check
can
for traps
go
before
and,
you
I'm
open it.
going to.
go and investigate it.
Anyone helping me?
Yeah.
This burn face.
As you go up and look, it is a plain iron door. That's what it looks like. There's no markings on it other than a stamp in the iron of bull's horns.
Does that symbol look familiar to you, Vincent?
I want to make a history check to see if I've seen that around.
Sure.
Waterdeep. It's an 11.
Just looks like bull's horns to you. Dwayne the Rock Johnson was here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Brahma Bull. I want to check it for traps.
Yep. Roll perception.
12.
Doesn't seem to be trapped.
Does it seem to be locked?
It is not locked.
Okay. So,
Why don't you knock on it first?
Why, so you can alert anything?
It's a door.
all right, I'll knock on the door.
Oh my word.
No response.
Okay. So I come back to the group. We've got an unlocked door at the top of the stairs, or we have the alleyway with the.
Locked door, unlocked door, more alley, skeleton
We
alley.
have skeleton alley. We have an unlocked door.
Kyle would go straight.
You think he'd just go into the
And-
door with the bull's
Yeah,
horns?
by the way, in skeleton alley, there's a door here and a door here.
Okay.
2 doors.
I hate mazes.
What do we want to do?
I say we go north.
Door looks good.
As far as I can tell.
How's the hall
Kyle would
look?
go straight.
How's the hall look?
Oh, I got blown up by a crate, so there are some
Let's take
sorts
the
of
door.
traps.
All right. Does it open in or out?
It opens in.
Pull towards me. Okay.
Hey, you open it up.
I can do it for you if you want.
I have my shield out.
Oh boy, what is going on?
Kyle?
What do I see?
You see nothing.
Pastor.
You see a square room.
One head
Made of
cannot
sand.
hold all wisdom.
As soon as the door's open, I mean, I'm following, man.
I'm staying very close. I actually just have a hand on the back of his cloak, just to make sure I'm not. Yeah, you. Make sure I'm.
What?
Well, I don't want to get lost.
Sorry, this map is too big for this
Moving.
table, and didn't have time to get a better solution. So
When you attach the paper, that's good.
there we go.
Do you need somebody to stand there and hold it?
Now, is that on?
Yes.
I will.
Wait.
Can you see that?
We
Give it a second.
Scene in charge.
You can see. You can't see that right room.
Move the camera away from the wall. A little bit.
We'll do this better next session.
Yeah.
It's a huge map.
If we make it.
That's good. That's going to be
That
perfect.
should be
Yep.
I don't think we're fighting.
Hey,
We're just dying.
Just cover
No,
up
not
the
today. I think we're gonna
top
spend
one.
that.
it's not. It's not. It's
Be like, oh, okay, this is what you
Okay.
This is the game.
What? So.
okay. Very good.
That's what do I
Sue.
see?
What you see here is 3 chambers that emerge before you. The first is a 20-foot by 20-foot square space that is filled with a pasture with lush grasses, a water trough, and as you look up, it's actually a shining sun with clear sky. There are 2 silos that border the pasture, and inside each of them is a single silver-plated, as it shines in the light, ox skull. As you look at the 2 skulls, you can see very clearly that runes cover each of the horns, the 2 sets of horns. And that's what you see before you.
Does this mean anything to anyone?
Can I think back to like all of my traveling and all of the people that I've talked to? Anything about bull's horns of significance?
Sure.
Kind of history. 18.
18. You know that bulls are often used in sacrifices to certain deities that demand that. You also know that there's an evil deity in particular that is often depicted through the imagery of bull's horns, and that's Baphomet. And these horns don't look necessarily with that sort of sinister imagery, but they clearly look to have some sort of runic magic to them.
Are there any, what's around? Water? Trough? And some plants?
Water trough,
What's in the corner?
some plants, that's water trough right there.
And there's
Plants.
runes on each of the horns, you said.
Plants, and there are runes on each of the horns.
Can we look at the runes?
Say, can I,
Just because something is common sense does not mean it's common practice. I say we leave this room. Kyle would not go in it any farther.
Is the grass disturbed at all?
Kyle hasn't made it out yet.
Roll investigation.
It is totally disturbed.
That is a 15.
15?
Yeah.
The grass does not seem to be disturbed at all. In fact, it's just calmly in place. As you look at from a distance from where you are, you look at the runes and you're kind of drawn to that, and you can kind of from where you are see there's some sort of a pattern to it, but it's hard to tell from your vantage point. But you guys are all kind of just taking turns peering into the room from the door. No one said that they've gone in yet.
Oh,
I said I was following Eli.
right. And my thought process is too that Kyle would have opened this door and said, "Nope."
So
I agree.
It was just all grass and a
it's
field
been
and sunshine and water.
It's been 3 days
Since you
at
looked at me?
least since Kyle has been in here, and he hasn't made his way out.
I get
So
that.
perhaps we should do some things that he didn't do.
But for him, it might only be a few minutes.
You're right.
But the
These
be.
bulls, they're
Oh wait, no, it can't be because there were dates in the book.
But you couldn't read.
But we put
and write
but
letters.
we put the dates in. Doesn't mean as soon as we're on the other side, time passes the same.
That's true.
Anyways, our
The-
only goal here is to find Kyle.
That's not our only goal.
Our
Yeah,
only
I also want to be
goal-
alive when we get out.
Am I
If we
within,
get out.
within 30 feet of...
I agree.
So
Can I get within 30 feet of those? I want to cast
step.
mage and
So
try to grab a rune on one of the horns.
You going in?
Why?
Oh, you're going. Oh, mage hand.
you would
Do
have
it.
you would have to step into the first
have to
5
step-
feet. Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, they did that.
Unseen servant.
Yeah.
I didn't take it. I almost did.
But I did.
Anyone
You
said
did? I say, I don't,
Did
know, I
you?
don't want to step on the grass, so...
I keep
will.
on like looking at
It's
it.
gonna take 10 minutes though.
Oh, we have 10 minutes.
So I'll cast Unseen Servant.
Okay, so 10 minutes goes by. You all kind of are twiddling your thumbs as Vincent is going through his incantations, as Anthony is perched on his shoulder, and he goes through, and all of a sudden there's a flash of light, and you don't see anything, but you see Vincent give some directions.
So I'm gonna send the servant forward
Okay.
into the room that I saw the skull with the runes and whatever.
They
on.
both have that.
The one straight ahead.
Yep, straight ahead. Goes in, and you can kind of, in your mind's eye, see him, even though he is invisible. And what do you direct him to do?
Try to pick it up.
Okay. He goes to pick it up, and his hands pass right through it.
Do the runes react at all? Do they light up?
No reaction.
Gonna do the same thing with the other one.
Same thing. Pass right through. It seems that whatever's there is, well, roll perception.
16.
It seems that it's not as if the hands are passing through something that's not there.
Okay.
It's clearly there, but these invisible hands are unable to grasp these objects.
All right. I will bring him back, but on the way back, see if he can grab some of the plants that are in the corner.
Okay. He goes to grab the plants, and again, his hands just pass through. It seems that whatever incantation is on this set of rooms, at the very least, you haven't tried out any other rooms, is resisting any sort of magical interaction.
Can you see through your unseen servant's eyes? So we have to step in to probably activate whatever's going on in here. Do we deem it worthwhile to do that? Noting that we're probably gonna have to fight like a minotaur or something.
2 minutes.
If we screw something up. My assumption is the runes tell a story or they tell a pattern that we have to do to turn something on or off.
Fortune favors the bold.
Is that what's happening?
You should go first, then.
I'm gonna reach forward and touch the grass.
Oh boy. You reach forward and touch the grass. Nothing happens.
Okay, well, it's not like a tactile sensor or something.
Okay.
So if that's the case, then if
I'm
she
gonna-
touches the grass, I want to move 5 feet in and use Mage Hand and see if. Well, I don't actually know what happens.
So
but
your
I wanna-
hand, you step in,
Yep.
He's
I'm
in
going
the
with
grass room. I'll touch him.
and you go in, and as soon as you step in, your feet are just comforted by the lush grass below them.
Oh boy.
And
Everything.
the
He
sun
said,
beats
look at
down.
everything.
And
It's really nice in here, guys. You
it's
should
really
come
nice. You extend your hand, and the mage hand kind of appears about 10 feet ahead, and you direct it, and it passes right through the horn. Cannot get a grasp on it.
I step into.
Okay, Vincent
Watch.
steps in.
I yell out, watch
Wait,
everything.
And then I turn back.
I say, Morthos, try to come back out real quick.
in. Well, I hear and hold. I try to take a step back out.
Take a step out.
I turn around and go, guys, if a kid comes in here, this looks safe. He's probably going to be trapped in here, the very first one. He's not smart enough. He doesn't have our experience. He wouldn't think around this. So we have to.
safe here. There's water. There's trees. Why would he leave?
Exactly.
He was here.
But we don't know what's over there.
Doesn't
Alright.
matter. This is.
The way
I'm gonna walk up to the trees.
Okay.
Oh my
You walk up to the
Walk
trees.
everything.
Everybody's
Walk
going in.
everything.
I'm
Yeah.
looking
I
at
think
the
he,
trees.
the first, like, any kind of portal thing,
Comforting.
I think he would have gotten trapped in because he's not smart enough.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I
You
think it's in the tree or the
Run
water.
your hands through the tiny leaves. And
Okay.
it's a healthy little bush. On the other side is, it's almost like a miniature tree. It's not full grown.
bonsai tree.
Not larger than a bonsai tree. But
Can I walk over to the water and look at the
you
water?
look at the water, you put your hand in.
Okay, good.
Clean water.
I want to do an
Nobody
Arcana
drowns,
check
so-
on the skull.
So you walk up to the skull.
If I can get
Which one?
just outside of the room, can I see it well
Which
enough?
one?
The one straight ahead. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
From there, can I tell what it is?
Roll perception with advantage because you already kind of spied what was going on here.
Those are terrible. No, that one was really
What is it? Perception.
Well, I guess this would be investigation.
Better.
14.
So, as you look from there, you can see that the pattern is of the runes. They are nondescript in the type of runes it is. It's just general arcane runes, but it leaves a pattern on the horns, the two horns, where runes are not. So it's kind of like runes leaving a shape in the horns of a key. Shapes of keys on each sides of the horns.
I would like to take a look at the other skull.
Yep.
See what's on that without
Same.
going in.
Same thing. You see that the runes are on, and they are not covering a portion of the horns that form the shape of a key.
We need keys.
So the key would have runes on it to complete.
No, the runes are in the horn. It's just that they're
Okay.
uncovered.
So two on both sides?
Yep. Both sides. There's keys in the horns on both sets.
I'm going to need these
Wait.
keys.
We need keys, guys.
We need to
keys?
find keys. So there's a key hole, like a.
Does it look breakable?
No, it's not a
These
keyhole.
I'm not
It's
understanding
Exactly.
this.
It's-
I'm
I
sorry.
could lasso
as
them
if there's a
out.
tattoo. So their runes would be the tattoos.
So the
But
negative space.
The negative
I don't think I
space
meant
is in the shape of a key.
Okay.
I think they're just
The space that's not covered in the runes is in the shape of a key.
something.
Does not seem like there's anything here. I mean, unless somebody wants to go up and grab these horns.
I have a key.
I'm gonna search the
Remember I
field
bought that
for
key?
keys.
You do have a key.
Try
The
it.
plants and the trees,
Here,
the water,
I'll
the
try it.
grass.
Roll a perception check.
I'm gonna perceive. Well, if he told me that there are keys on those things.
Well, I did, and then Eli gave me the key that he bought.
Okay.
Come on, baby.
Nope.
5.
You don't see anything.
I
So
also
Eli, you came in and
Give him the key.
gave him the key, right?
Eli Hold.
Melsine, Rygar, Sola, you guys are just hanging out there?
No, I'm gonna move up to the.
I think we should all come into the room. See if something happens when we all are in there.
Yeah, so
Door
we're all
closes.
stuck in that spot.
Door's always closed when that happens. I am going to say, Eli, hold. Just keep an eye out. And I walk up to the skull.
I am going in the room.
Keep
before he
take my
does
eye
that.
out, huh?
Give me your
So
eye.
I'm going in the room before he touches it.
I'll go in the room too.
Oh, you went in?
Malsine's the only one hanging out.
By myself?
Yep.
No, put me in the room.
She got peer pressured in.
And when you go inside,
Now the door closes.
so you walk in here.
Yes.
Okay.
The way this is set up, we're gonna have to do stuff. So
Stop it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to do
So you
something.
go in, and what do you do?
Well, first. First, I'm going to cast Mage Armor. Just
I like
in
it.
case.
does the key
Okay.
even look
So you
like
cast mage armor.
fits the negative?
Do I
spell?
sense that it's working?
Mage armor is working. Yes.
Okay.
It activates.
And then I will take the key that Eli gave me and manipulate it so it fits into that part
So
of the.
there's no opening. It's just. So you.
Just an empty part.
What do you?
Just try to
Take the
hold it
key.
against the.
Okay. As soon as you touch the horn, two things happen.
Give me my key back.
You're gonna have to get it from my
First-
Sola disappears.
First, the door behind you
Yeah.
Knew it.
shuts.
Behind me?
Glad I'm not
Or
by
the
myself.
passenger?
on
The door
outside.
behind Morthos.
Okay.
Yeah.
And secondly, you hear.
If you smell.
And that's it.
Only I hear it.
No, you all
We
hear
all
this
hear it?
a faint mooing sound.
Like cow.
What if we touch them both at the same time? There's two. It's gonna be a simultaneous.
I'm gonna
thing.
try to open the door to the stairs.
Go ahead. It is locked. Are you trying to bang it down?
Straight
I tried to
up.
open it. No, just open it. It's locked.
All right.
You were right, Eli.
I'll try touching the other horn.
Go for it.
Okay.
You and
go.
Vincent touch it at the same time.
All right, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. You
One,
go.
2, 3.
You hear. You hear. The mood turns to a laugh.
It's the wizard. He thinks
And
we're dumb.
the sky over the pasture darkens.
It sure does.
And
You're so salty about
what
this game.
materializes before you?
This whole dungeon.
The worst.
Rygar just doesn't like being electrocuted.
I guess it is big enough for a battle.
Tiny little room.
We've killed
Is
minotaurs before.
a very angry looking minotaur
I called it.
You
that phases
all
into
yours.
existence. And
Is this considered a fiend?
as you look at
Technically,
it,
I'm in the other room. Just
you
for
see
the-
that it wears
It's a monster house.
a small little kind of waist belt with cloths hanging off it, wielding a giant great axe, horns that spiral forward with the face of a horse, and
I get
giant
impaled.
hooves. Not unlike the previous minotaur that you faced, though slightly smaller, not quite as large as that one who had the axe. Most
thought of it.
noticeable, however, is that the minotaur has around his neck a key.
Okay.
And I need everyone to roll initiative.
Key to
We
the
have to kill him.
door.
Key to the city.
Key to get out of the room.
Come on, baby.
Well, it's either he gets decapitated or Eli gets decapitated. There is no other alternative.
I'm also
Can we be
by the other
friends?
horn, just to let you know.
We just rolled initiative, so I'm gonna say no.
No, Eli got
There's always
decapitated
a
by science.
possibility.
And are we gonna start
So you're
this
fine.
fight next week?
I'm fine. He's not gonna melt me.
Okay.
No, but I'm the
20
one
to
who
25.
failed.
He's not a boulder, so
I
other-
go insane
23.
because every
24.
sad.
So you rolled a nat 22?
I rolled a 19 plus 4.
That's a 23.
Oh, I rolled a 23. I can't do that.
I rolled
Sorry.
a nat 20. I don't know if that makes
It doesn't make a difference.
What was the thing? 20 to 24? 20
Yep,
to
20, 24. What, 15 to
19?
19 for Jax.
19.
I got 15.
Rygar,
Okay,
16.
17.
Hold.
We might stand a chance.
Milsine was 17.
Got the back roll on. You were also 19?
Vincent
Yeah.
said 19.
What does it go by then? Con?
I'll let you
Jax,
go first.
Technically, we're supposed to pick.
Jackson, Vincent, what are your dexes?
Oh, mine's high.
Plus 1 initiative
14.
now.
Plus 2.
Plus 3.
Before it was a 0 initiative.
Morthos,
Roll
I
12.
realized that
12,
I
and
didn't have
what's
all the
Tony?
points that I was supposed to have. I was behind everybody.
11.
11. Okay. Sola, you are up as this sky changes and the Minotaur phases into existence, laughing and getting ready to swing at the
Someone.
people in front of him.
I will do Radiant Sunbolt.
Okay, roll your attack.
16.
16, that hits. Roll your damage.
6.
6 damage. Okay.
Okay, and then can I do Radiant Sunbolt again? Or did we decide that it was not a bonus action?
So you can,
Are you closed in this?
yeah,
one?
you can just take your 2 sunbolt attacks.
Okay, I'll do it again.
Yep.
14
14 hits.
and 6.
6 damage again. Very good. So Sola hits him with 2 sunbolts in his back. Kind of looks back at you and then looks forward again. Eli, you are up.
I'm going to ignite my sword with radiant damage,
Okay, so you take 1 point of damage.
and I'm going to attack him.
Yeah, roll your attack.
Nope. 10.
You swing and he puts out his axe and you just clang off his axe. And as you do so, he follows it with an attack on you
Okay.
since you just attacked him. And that is a
I have my shield out.
19.
That would hit.
Okay. And so he does.
Ah, if only there was one less.
42.
He does 17 slashing damage to you.
Holy moly.
Vincent, you're up.
Firebolt.
Yep, make your attack.
Love it.
That's a 20. Modded 20.
20 hits.
That's a 2.
2 damage, alright, very good. So he comes down, brings the full weight of the axe to bear on Vincent, smashing him in his chest, and you hear the kind of the low of Eli, I think I said Vincent, of Eli, and the blood kind of splatters out from him. As he does so, Vincent shoots him with the firebolt in the back, and he kind of shrugs it off. His fur singed, but none the worse for wear. Jax.
I'm gonna call him out. We fought bigger than you.
Oh boy.
Ha ha ha. That's my vicious
Mock?
Yeah.
And he rolls a 13.
Haha, I'm a 14.
14, okay. So he
Gets 1 whole psychic damage.
1, but he is
Sitting at
disadvantage on
13.
his next attack.
Correct.
That's good. That's
Okay.
big.
Melcine, are you staying where you are?
Uh,
Well, no one. The door is
can't
still
really
closed.
move.
Yeah.
what are the chances I could use my thorn whip to pull his axe out of his hand?
So you would roll the attack
Mm-hmm.
to see if you
target
hit the
a thorn whip.
to hit the axe, and then it would be a contested strength check.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, go for it. Roll your attack.
Oh, we should try talking to him.
We Too late.
Oh boy.
As we're killing them.
11.
As he put a
11?
axe right in
Stop
Eli's
resisting.
head.
It hits the axe, but it hits the sharp part of it, and just kind of the seaweed just snaps off. Rygar.
It was worth a shot.
So, is Minotaur a fiend?
Roll history.
14.
You believe that Minotaur has some connection with demonic forces insofar as they speak abyssal, but they are not considered fiends themselves. They are monstrosities.
Okay. I'd like to attack.
Yeah, roll your attack.
That is a 19.
19 hits.
Alright. So, with the attack, I'm just going to use Planar Warrior.
Okay. So you aim your arrow, and as you do so, your hand begins to darken with the shadows of the void, and you imbue it into your arrow, and you shoot it off at him.
7.
And as you try to dodge, hold an Eli, you don't get a clear shot at him. You pierce him in his side, and there's a flash of light as a portion of his flesh disappears and leaves a hole kind of in his side, and he looks down and looks up at you and takes that 7 damage. Okay.
And he's missing a part of his quad.
So if we hit that part that he's missing, is that more damage?
It is not.
Oh.
Good
I'm
call.
just saying, like, it's open wounds, you know?
Open wound, yeah, and as it disappears, there's a second, and then blood starts pouring out of it as his body kind of adapts to.
We're in a video game.
Yep. Hold, you are up.
Oh, we have a request that Hold gets up and grapples him. So I'm going to attempt to give him a bear hug.
Okay. Ooh. Go ahead.
Come on, baby. 14.
21.
Yeah.
So you go up to grab him, and he brings the axe down and kind of shoves you back.
I stand my ground.
Okay. Morthos.
I will move to right next to Hold, right in front
There
of him.
should be a sneak attack in there. No one can move.
Yep. You get right next to him?
And I will use my ice dagger
Okay.
and take an attack.
Yeah, make your attack with your ice dagger.
That 20, baby.
Okay, so you get to double all of your dice.
Oh my goodness.
Do
Do
you
you
need
need
more
more?
fours?
Well, that's a 1. That would be a 3. Oh, sorry. How do we want to do that? There's only supposed to be 4 of them, not 6 of them.
Just
Take
roll
your
for it.
highest ones.
Just re-roll it.
Oh, I like the other roll better.
Son of a gun.
You saw what the other one, they all were before, right?
Yeah, they were all like 4s and
3,
5s.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Holy crap.
Plus 3, plus 3, 10 is 14.
14. Okay. So you stab him in the spot that just was apparated out, and he lets out a roar and looks at you, adjusting his target towards you. Tony, you're up.
He's going to do a flyby on him.
Okay.
Just distract him.
So he distracts him. So the next attack on Tony, on Minotaur, has advantage. Solo,
He
you're
still
up.
has disadvantage
Correct.
on his next
He
attack.
does.
Is there a way I can get close to him? So
You-
I could take a.
You can barely see, like, you could... Actually, I should have given him more cover on your attacks before, now that I'm looking at it. You can get up to here and kind of peek around the corner and try to hit him, but he is in some cover from you.
Can I get out of the room or not really without taking an opportunity attack?
So you were here. 1, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, you could get out to here.
Okay, can I get closer to him so I can attack him with my
You
swords?
are you adjacent to him there.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
I will attack him with my swords.
Go for it.
Advantage, you said? Correct.
You have advantage. Yep.
Nice.
18 plus.
18 hits. Roll your damage.
10.
10. Nice.
And then
So the sword comes down, slashes across
it was
his
a little
chest.
more finesse than that. Just, it was like a chop.
You chawed him.
I'm a monk.
He's
I'm a
chawed.
monk. It has to have flair. All right, unarmed strike.
Yep.
Does that flare?
Ric Flair.
11 plus 6.
That hits. Roll your damage.
7.
Okay, so you chaw him, and then you follow it up with a hayah.
Perfect.
A cha and a haya.
All right, very good. Eli.
I'm gonna try to stab him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
12.
12 does not hit. As he parries again with the axe.
Just testing the baselines of
And
it.
as he parries, he comes down with an axe swing on Morthos with disadvantage.
He died. I can't bring him back.
Double sixes.
I thought we have advantage against him. Oh, Molly got
So
it.
that was
She got
so it was 12 to hit.
That does not hit.
And
He had disadvantage
as you
because
see
your
it
is not.
coming very clearly, you dodge out of the way, and I could have done that, but I'm not. I didn't. So
You're not gonna gore?
no, he needs 10 feet.
Yes, he does.
Vincent, you're up.
I'm going to cast Firebolt again.
Yeah, roll your attack.
That is a 11.
11 does not hit. As this time, with all the commotion in front of him, it goes wide, and Jax, you're up.
I kind of want to stab him. Where am I?
You can get up here to stab him.
Because there's more people who's gonna hurt him between me and
We
them.
don't have any utility players.
I want to stab him.
Okay.
Him having disadvantage would be really
Yeah,
Oh.
really
What'd
awesome.
you roll?
know, right?
What'd you roll?
13.
That does not hit.
See, now we know.
Yeah. And you're up next to Melcine. You're up.
Everybody got stabby. I got excited.
I want to.
premature estabulation.
I want to try to pull up his axe out of his hand again.
Yeah, roll your attack.
Nearly dead.
Do it.
Eli standing there.
Nah, he's not dead enough for me to be worried.
Ah, that'll do. 22.
That hits.
We
Roll
don't
your
want that
strength.
to go.
We need a group tactic meeting
Plus strength.
after this.
If most of us live, I agree.
Like, don't save the horse instead of the.
Let's throw some pennies at the Minotaur. Let's do it.
It's a rapier.
What do I have? What
It's
is
not
it?
even a
Strength?
headshot.
Strength,
Athletics, yeah.
How does a 4 sound?
Or
I need
He-
to give up
it-
on that idea.
it wraps around
It's a good
the
idea. I like it.
the shaft of the axe, and he just pulls his shaft out.
Come on!
Oh,
It was just like breaking the
Give
vibe.
me
rated R.
Aw.
Of the axe.
Up the
Go
axe.
up.
Rygar, go for the shaft.
I'm jacking. Kick him in the shaft.
That's a natural 20. That hits. Roll your attack. I assume you're doing your bonus action void again.
Can you hold the shaft?
That
Absolutely,
is
I can.
a
If I roll
15.
15 damage.
Yes.
Wow. This time you hit him in his
Well, one
pec,
hand or two.
and a large portion of his upper right, upper left pec disappears, exposing his ribs, and you can kind of see the beating of his heart underneath. As he kind of under that staggers and is
Indiana Jones.
not looking good. Hold. You're up.
You're welcome.
Is the
He just
key
falls
dangling
in
in that skeletal space?
It's kind of more like a choker
It's a
necklace,
choker.
uptight. Yeah.
What a freak.
It's also made of silk.
Um,
Silk choker.
It's a kerchief. What did Fred wear from Scooby Doo?
Ascot.
It's an
I
ascot.
haven't rolled anything today, so.
That's why I wanted to roll. I wanted to stab him.
No. If you may have just killed me, but that's cool.
I'm gonna grab
I
one
get to put more good berries.
with an
in my mouth.
emphasis on attempting
is
to
a
put my hand,
strategy.
one hand near the key.
Okay.
She puts it in her teeth
So-
and holds it.
19.
15.
Yes.
He is grappled.
Get him.
Hey!
And you are seeking to work your hand up
With your mouth, bite it out.
around the key.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Morthos.
I mean, I have advantage if he's grappled.
If
Well,
he's
he's not
restrained,
restrained.
yeah, that's when you're really
All right.
stuck.
Then we will go with the dagger.
Yeah, roll your attack.
I'm probably gonna. That's an 11.
That this time, as Hold steps up and grapples him, you kind of adjust your attack and try to jab him in that same exposed rib area, but with Hold's body there, you pull back, not taking your full swing.
We will take our offhand attack though.
Roll your offhand attack.
Yep. Which would be a lot.
And that hits. Roll your damage.
You get sneak attack with it.
Attack. So
Wait, if Hold is
holding,
holding, doesn't he get an advantage on the
that's
attack?
what I asked. He has to be restrained.
Pay attention, people.
Yes.
He's just
So,
that's all.
10.
10. So Hold steps in front of you and you go to attack and you kind of pull it back, and as you see Hold's body step up, you kind of see I could climb Hold and vault him up for a kill shot.
Yes.
And so as you do, you kind of step up and propel yourself off of Hold's shoulder with your offhand and plunge the dagger down as you hear a voice in your ears say, "Finish him." So how do you do so?
Well, since I'm climbing up his back, we're just going to go straight down through his skull.
Yep.
Fatality.
And you kind of avoid the horns, come right down into the skull,
I'd
and
like to see my blade come out the bottom of his chin.
it comes out the top of his mouth
There we go.
as the blood begins to pour out of his nose and his mouth. His eyes roll up in the top of his head as he just goes limp in Hold's grasp, as Hold's still grappling his now dead body.
Hold do what Hold do.
And as the Minotaur's life essence ekes away, the sky goes clear and the door opens.
Snag the key.
Snag the key.
Is the body still there?
The body
Minotaur?
falls limp in your hands and you hold it there. As soon as you take the key, the body disappears. And that is where we will pick up next week as we continue through the maze of the Blue Alley.
Oh, I hate puzzles.
Me too. It's not even that puzzly.
I love
not
games.
yet.
This
Just
is like
wait.
the easy part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just wait.
I know.
Or we just punch things.
All right.
It's just
That,
so many
that was called
decisions.
close quarters combat. It won't be like that going forward.
So that is the first little portion of the Blue Alley. And this is the largest map that we've run through yet, which is why we're having so many troubles with the camera. We'll try to figure out a solution for that next week. But until then, thank you for joining us here as we got a little late start. Hopefully next week we'll be on time and we will be able to continue with our adventures. Thank you to everyone who is hosting us. Unfortunately, I don't have a list because our it's out there. I don't have that. Thank you to any new followers or subs. I have no idea if there were any. Thank you to anyone who gave us some bits. We very much appreciate that.
Scooby-Doo.
And,
for the crit. 10 for the crit.
10 for the crit. Nice.
Right.
Nice. And we plan to implement some things going forward with the bits where essentially the audience can, for a certain amount of bits, buy some inspiration for people.
Interesting.
And so if there is a specific
With
moment...
wall.
I'm going to be buying myself.
I'll
I'm definitely going to jack up the price then.
Knows what your name
Bits
is.
from players are only half as effective.
Twice as much.
So we're going to do that so you guys can be more active in the game and influencing the outcomes of things. And we certainly love you to talk to us and give us some suggestions as Hold grappled at the suggestion of one of the chatters.
I liked it.
Hold likes listening to the audience.
Yep. So the more participation we get
Don't
from
get
the
me killed,
audience, the more that we will
The audience
interact
would
with
have
you
had
guys.
us go down Skeleton Alley.
We should
They
have
didn't
asked.
say anything.
So
It
thank
didn't take
you.
too long for it.
Thank you for
Yeah.
being a part of this with us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday when we will continue to loot, die, and repeat.
Do. Hey!
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
See, now you're into it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a little finger twiddle.
Only took him, what, 15